Cuffs are off, man. Get right. Too many left in these leagues, but I ain't gonna...
Hey everybody, Adam Rank here.
What's up everybody? It's Marcus Grant from NFL Network.
This is AJ Dillon of the Green Bay Packers.
I got to give a shout out to y'all at Get Right Fantasy.
If you are not subscribed, what are you waiting for? You want to lose your league?
Check out the Get Right Fantasy Network.
You got to get right with the Get Right Fantasy Network.
Best of luck with your podcast. Appreciate the support.
And you're tuned in to watch my boys at Get Right Fantasy Network. Get you right. Enjoy the show.
Marking often, but I tune in every Friday. Strategies provided, I will lock in every way. So go and roll your sleeves up. Yeah, go and roll your sleeves up. And I'm getting down, cause I roll my sleeves up. And I'm getting right, cause I roll my sleeves up.
What up? What up? What up, world? We are back. I'm Anthony, aka Rasta. This is Get Right Fantasy Network. It is week 6. It's the buy, sell, trade show. Roster management. We're here for it. Rasta management, as I like to call it. I'm here with my boy Fish and Frank to talk trades today. How's it going, Frank? How you doing, man?
What's up? What's up? What's up? Doing good. Doing good. We got the regulars in the house already commenting over here. Ron's already talking about smack over here. Come on now, Ron.
That's what he's here for, man. That's what he's here
Right.
for. Calling us out for being late, man. Frank and I are sucking down on cough drops right now. We're trying to
both of
just
us
hold
are
it
sick.
together for you guys to be here. We had a coughing session here, which threw us off. Had to get me back from being red back to my natural caramel color here. So it just this is what we go through, guys. Man, it's a long. We grind it out. We roll our sleeves up, man, and we get it done. And speaking of Ron, this guy outbid me. This is why it sucks being in leagues with guys you do a show with.
Right?
$23. Put a bid in for Amari DeMarcado. Ron comes in at 24. $1. Gets me for $1. We're both 11th and 12th place. I'm 12th. He's 11th. And he gets me by $1, man.
That's rough.
Rough.
That's rough.
It's rough out here for these guys.
After I seen all those and moves or pickups or whatever, I felt like I missed out. I didn't even bother doing anything. I was like, okay, well, I don't know. I just felt like I was fine. I was like, I'm not sure if I'm bettering my team or not. You know what I mean? Sometimes you're like, you just want to stay out of there. You know what I mean?
For sure.
Yeah.
If you're in that situation, good for you. I'd rather be in that situation, but this is the team I had Nick Chubb on. He went down. Montgomery had to slip into my RB1 spot. And right now I'm literally rocking with my next best running back is Jerick McKinnon. I have Sean Tucker, Zach Charbonnet. I mean, I had some nice, guys, just
Jesus.
my
Yeah.
guys got hurt, not somebody else's, and I didn't have my backups. I had other people's backups. So just, I'm off to a rough start, but I'm trying to battle back. Got my first win. I'm back to 1-4 in this league, our ambassador league. And Ron fell behind me. So I feel like he's going down. I'm on my way up. I'm ascending. I did get Donta Foreman. Is it? Yeah, Donta Foreman. And so, I mean, I think it was a nice little consolation prize with Roshan still in the concussion protocol. But, hey, we're not always right. And I like to diversify. I don't just draft the same team everywhere. So,
Yeah.
this team's hurting a bit right now.
Because if you do that, then you're really in trouble. If you that goes
Then
down
it's
there,
a
you
not
gotta
fun
kinda
year.
figure that. Yeah, exactly. You got to figure out somewhere. And I like you're saying, I like to have a little diversity. Some teams are similar with certain players that I kind of was targeting, so I have a quite a few pieces of those guys, and other ones are just completely opposite. Like just because maybe where I drafted at, right? Sometimes you're
Right.
drafted in the beginning of the draft, you don't even have an opportunity to those guys. They're going to be it's a whole different set of guys that you have a chance at it, depending on where you're drafted in mid, beginning, or late, right? So
Mm-hmm. And these are the struggles we're all dealing with right now. Also on the same team, I had Joe Burrow. So between his end production, Nick Chubb going down, Montgomery even went down for a week there. I literally had no running backs to start for a week. It's rough sometimes out here in the streets, in these fantasy streets. So, but that's why we're here, man. Enough of the down. Let's get up on this one.
yeah,
We're here to
what's
get those
going on.
rosters right, man. Like you said, we got folks in the house in here. We got JH in the house here saying, let's go. So let's get it done. Ron's happy about his Phillies. I'll give you a little shout out there. Roberto's not too happy with that. He wants Braves in 5. So there we go. hopefully we'll be able to bring some fantasy baseball to this channel in the future. That's why it's the Get Right Fantasy Network and not
Yeah, if you
fantasy
got some
football.
guys that actually like talking about baseball that much, let us know. I think if we stopped doing that little what was it? What would you call it?
Yeah, we're already.
Pitch?
It's just like a little pitch or something. I just try to throw it in there for a little while, you know. But our shows have been going so long anyway. I had to try to trim some things here and there
Right.
on the reads. So is what it is. So with that said, man, let's get into it. Tonight we're talking waiver wire, or not waiver wire. Tonight we're talking trades. Mondays we do our waiver wire show. Wednesdays are our roster management and trades. Friday we do our start sit show, go game by game. And Sundays, Classic Mike's here for your last minute start sit advice to get your lineups right before kickoff. So before we do that, man, if you guys are watching, if you don't want to kind of, we're going to go through and do a lot of Q&A here as we get questions that come up. So if you guys do have questions, trade questions, preferably, but, we'll take some start sits, answer them the best we can. Any questions that you guys have for us, again, we'll get to them there in the chat. Make sure you guys hit that subscribe button for us. We're trying to chase that 1,000 mark. We're less than 10 away. I think we need about 5 or so. And help us get there if you're watching. Also, if you don't want to, kind of listen to all the Q&As, just go into the description, check out the chapters. You'll be able to skip right to our trade talks and our buy-sell trade targets if that's what you're looking for. Otherwise, come kick back with us here on a Wednesday night. We're going to talk fantasy football, and let's get through it. Again, like we said, man, trying to hit that 1,000 mark. Hit that subscribe button for us because we're going to do that giveaway. So when we hit 1,000 subscribers, we're going to do our 1,000 subscriber giveaway. We're giving away. Yeah, there it is.
There it is.
Giving away this 1,000 subscriber ring. So if you guys are interested, make sure you're sub to the channel. And we're going to be giving this bad boy out from our boys over at trophysmack.com. So Frank, why don't you tell the folks about what they got going on over at Trophy Smack?
Speaking of Trophy Smack, right? If you want a ring like that, maybe a belt. We have belts in our leagues. I really prefer a trophy. I seen a guy carrying a trophy in Reno. I took a picture of that guy. I was like, "This is what's up." Or even just a chain. Yeah, you want to have that swag and that just that swagger when you're at the game and showing off. So you go to trophysmack.com, browse a variety of different fully customized items. Everything's fully customizable. You have different colors, different, even like the belts. I mean, they had like a snakeskin one and like a fish skin. I don't know. It was crazy. Aside from just red, black, and blue, it was pretty cool. There's a link in the description, so check it out. You have the offers. All you got to do is be sure to use our promo code GetRight at the checkout, and that helps support our channel. I mean, if you're gonna buy this stuff anyways, please throw us a bone. Help a brother out over here because we are trying to make it. We don't get paid for any of this, so any support would be greatly appreciated.
Absolutely. Keep the lights on over here. Just keep the StreamYard going,
Right?
But yeah, no, we appreciate it. Absolutely. But it's fun, man. So yeah, those things are awesome. Like I said, we're giving one away for our 1,000 subscriber, and we have it a ring integrated into our first league this year for a new league that we started up, our League of Extraordinary Gentlemen.
Right?
I like that one. Yeah,
probably something like that. Get blinged out.
Yeah, we're gonna let the winner customize
ring
it.
of your choice, right? It's gonna be
I'm gonna choice, right? If you win, you get to customize it. If you want gold, silver, if you want, whatever logo picture you want on there, whatever writing you want, like you're gonna be able to set it all up yourself. So take down the league, get your ring. All right, so we'll move on here. Like we said, we're gonna also do a Thursday night preview tonight. So we'll just quickly go through our start sits for Sunday. So if you do have start sit questions that involve guys involved in the Thursday night game, make sure you drop them in the chat. We'll discuss the news topics, injury updates like we always do, go through those buy sells, and of course get to your questions here. So we'll do that now. Cadillac says he traded Puka and Devon Achane for Adams and Ramondre Stevenson. So which side of the coin do you like there?
I seen that earlier, but you got to go with the best guy on there, right? Adams. And that's the deal behind any kind of trade, as long as you're trading up, because Puka's now going to be in WR2 with cutback. Achane is obviously injured. So if you're getting Adams and Ramondo, you're getting two players that are playing. Ramonde's not doing too great, but Adams is the prize of the bunch here. So that's a good trade, I think.
Yeah, and those are 2 waiver wire guys for basically a 2nd round and a 4th round pick. So not bad. I mean, obviously, all things considered, A-Chain's healthy. I'd probably stick with Puka and A-Chain, or A-Chan, whatever you want to call it. Anyway, it is what it is. All right, so let's get going here.
Everybody's life. But...
Yeah, Ron said he lost Dobbins and Connor in that league too. So yeah, he and I are both struggling. So that's why he got me for the $1 bid there. I'm still upset about it a little bit. I love this guy's name. We got D's Nuts in the house here. What's up, Jeff? He's saying he has Richardson. Richardson, should I pick up Deshaun, Stafford, or Purdy?
Ooh.
So lost Richardson going on IR today.
With Deshaun may or may not play
4 to 8 weeks.
So throw him out of there.
All right.
So it's either between Stafford or Purdy. And Purdy's been throwing up some good numbers, right? You got to cut like 3 TDs last night, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
With Stafford, I mean,
no picks.
He got cut back, and he's got Puka as well there, and he flings it.
Yet to score like over 18.
Me, because I just wouldn't even start at 49ers, so I'd go with Stafford. But
I was going to say, I was like, there's no way he's saying Purdy. You know I'm going Purdy.
It didn't even matter.
Yeah, so in my book. Right. Purdy's sitting as the QB8 right now, 6 point per passing touchdowns, 9 touchdowns, 0 picks on the year. He's only one of 2 quarterbacks, starting quarterbacks that have not thrown a pick so far this year. Do you know the other one?
Ooh, no. Put me on spy here. No, I don't know. Who is it? Interesting question.
CJ Stroud. I should have let you guess.
Oh, you know what?
You knew that.
I hadn't even seen something about that. Now that you mentioned it, that's all bad. I should have thought.
Yeah, it's all right. See, that's what we're here for. Give you these little nuggets in case you're ever caught in it. But yeah, to me, I'd go Purdy and then maybe Deshaun. To like Frank said, if you're looking kind of someone for this week, I'd grab Purdy, and he's not going to like cost you games, and I think he's only had like one game under 20 points if you're playing in a 6 point per passing touchdown league. So I'd rock with Purdy. So we'll move on there. Let us know what you do, my guy. Appreciate you coming out.
Yeah.
And let's get it. So Cadillac's asking, who you starting? Barkley, if he plays, versus Buffalo, or Breece Hall against Philly? Wow, you're in a situation where you have to decide between these two. Who's your RB1? Like CMC?
I'd start Breece Hall.
I think I'm going Breece too. I mean, I want to see Barkley coming off his ankle. More so, Hall looks more recovered from his ACL than Barkley does from his most recent eye ankle sprain. So, yeah. Buffalo's defense kind of banged up right now, but that Giants offense is rough right now. I'd definitely go Breece Hall. I think we're good there. Ron saying he bid $13 on Elijah Moore and no one else even bid. I had a couple of those. Ron saying go Barkley. So we're kind of split there. He says he has Pacheco and Walker in the RB1, so he's looking to flex one of those guys. Oh, you got some nice running back depth there. There you go. We got Diesel in the house. What's up, Blast? He's saying Rasta has a cough and the sniffles, 4 to 6 weeks on the IR minimum. Yeah, I might have to put myself on the IR, man. You never know. But there we go.
Rough.
And maybe Blast and I might make a deal here on the air. So he and I have been trying to work out some trades. We were kind of going back and forth as the show was getting started here. So send me over a real offer, put it in the chat or something, and maybe we'll get a trade done here.
Right there.
So work on that. Hey, we went back and forth for a while, and he was like, I mean, I've totally analyzed that team, and I feel like I'm good, even though I'm like in 10th place, but I feel like I'm a solid, rock hard 10th place,
He's like, yeah, I'm coming back right here.
It's on the mend. I just had to recover from them losing Chubb and losing Burrow, basically. So I feel like I have the momentum going there. So let's see. We got Will Hayes in the house. What's up, Will? He's saying pick 2, Devonta Smith, David Montgomery, or Joe Mixon, full PPR. I will be flexing one of them. I don't understand what that means.
David Montgomery.
So pick 2.
That's going to be in his flex spot. It would definitely not be Joe Mixon. He's either Devontae Smith or David Montgomery, and I'm going to go always side on the running back side, and he's on fire recently, so I'll go David Montgomery. Devontae Smith has had a couple down games, not to be down on him, and he's actually a buy low candidate that we will be talking about here in a little bit. So I'd go with David Montgomery for the start, though.
There we go. Yeah, I'm going Demont for sure, and then give me Devonta Smith. Did you see the thing that came out today? Dan Campbell came out and said it's nice he considers Demont a workhorse back, and it's nice to have a guy that you can give 20, 25, 30 carries to, and tote the rock, basically.
That's
I was
just
like,
fantasy fucking golden.
hey,
I was
like, hey, like, let me get some of that. That's what I like to hear. Whether it's coach speak or not, I'll take it. Exactly.
Put that guy out there.
That's why I kind of brought it up too. But hey, he's the one who said David Montgomery. I didn't put that question in there. But yeah, well, we're definitely going Demont and Smith there.
Keep trying to get him from me. I'm like, he's not up for sale at all anymore. Like that window's safe.
Window's closed.
Yeah. That
man.
It was door shut and nails put in it.
Chris says, what's up, Chris? Burke? He says, would you trade London for Gibbs in full PPR?
I'm still kind of holding hope for London, but Jahmyr Gibbs is not really doing much either, anyways, right? He's sitting there behind Demont doing like twiddling his thumbs now because Demont came back and just lit that thing up, and I don't think he's going to get a chance anytime soon. So I'd probably just stick with London in hopes for better days.
I think I agree with you there. Not saying Gibbs doesn't have it. I think we said it last show. I think we're just a year or two early, and I know a lot of us here, a lot of us degenerates, we get real excited on these rookies and forget. Especially when they spend all that money on Demont in the offseason.
There's really at the end of the year, there's only like maybe 3-4 rookies that actually become fallacy relevant that year or whatever, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think
still learning pass protection. Maybe. Like there's still a lot they got to learn, man. They're still learning how to be a pro. So it may take until the second half. So again, just depends on what you're looking for, what you need. If you're looking to just kind of increase your bench, and maybe you picked up Puka and somebody else, and you can kind of move off of London. Like I don't hate it, but for the most part, I'm probably gonna take my chances still there with London. So yeah, all right. So
he has a better opportunity to have better shots right now.
Right.
Until Demont goes down or something, then I'll say grab Gibbs.
Right. Yeah, and that could all change tomorrow.
But I mean, you literally just said the coach just said he's going to give him 20 plus touches or whatever. So
yeah, a lot of chances to get hurt.
Yeah, exactly. That too.
All right. So we got Roberto saying he got offered Devonta Smith and Jeff Wilson for Breece Hall. He has Tyreek, Amari, and Devonta with the Hurt stack. Damian Pierce would move into his RB2. Pollard has his RB1, and he also has Achane on his IR. So he got offered Devonta Smith and Jeff Wilson for Breece Hall. Which side do you like on that? Smith and Wilson or Breece Hall?
Let's stick with Breece Hall.
Yep.
I like Devonta Smith, don't get me wrong. Jeff Wilson is still up in the air as to when he's going to play, how much is he going to be involved, right? Because he's coming back from
Wait, which Devonta does he have? Because he says he has Tyreek, Amari, and Devonta, but he got offered Devonta and Wilson.
Well, he has Devonta Smith. It has to be Devonta Smith because he has the Hurt stack.
So how did he get offered that if he already has him? I don't know. Clarify your question there, Roberto.
Oh, that's true.
Oh, he said with the Hurt stack if he accepted the trade.
With the Hurt stack, if he accepts the trade. Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah, I don't think. Yeah, I'm not giving up Breece Hall just to get a stack.
I literally currently have that stack, and actually think 2 leagues. And I wouldn't do it. I would still.
I'm not trading Breece Hall. Yeah. All right. So sorry, I had to think that one out there for a second. Make sure I was there. Chris says London and Sanders for Demont. I would do that in a heartbeat. Now that I would do.
You like Sanders, Miles Sanders that much?
No, he's giving up Miles Sanders and Drake London for David Montgomery.
Oh, okay. That's what who's shooting him out to get David Montgomery. Yeah, then you should do that. Definitely. Yeah. Okay. I understand what you're saying now.
There we go. Oh, see, we got Neanderthal in the house saying, "Where's the likes? Hit that thumbs up." That's right. We're not even supposed to be hitting. We're not even supposed to be answering questions until we got what 20-something people watching right now. Frank, check it, man. We better have at least 15 before we get into any more questions here. So way to tell it, Neanderthal. We'll get to it here. So I have it marked where we left off here with JH. So JH, you better go hit that like button.
There's 8 so far, so that's good. That's actually way better than yesterday.
That's not bad.
Monday,
but I want 15 before we get more. So if you guys want your questions answered, JH, go hit that like button, and you guys do it. So we'll get to our Thursday night recap here. So let's do it. You got the banner there, Frank?
Oh, you got me started. Yep, got you.
You got it. So we'll throw that up, and we'll get to our Thursday night start sit preview here. So quickly here, not really too. It shouldn't take too long here. In this one, you have the Broncos versus the Chiefs. We have Travis Kelce coming in the game listed technically as questionable, but they are expecting him to play. They say, this is specifically for Ron. They said Kelce's ankle has responded well after a non-contact injury during Sunday's win over the Vikings. So even their reporters and everyone's calling it a non-contact injury, just for the record. So if he's in there, you're firing him up, right? Yeah, that was specifically just for Ron.
Yeah. We're firing him up for sure.
Yeah, so we're firing up Kelce.
I even bothered kicking him out of my lineup. I was like, no, this dude's gonna play. Like, there's no, what I mean? Like,
right.
He came back in the same game. That's why I knew he was gonna play anyways. Like, if he had not come back in the game, I would be a lot more worried. But he came right back. They just gave him a shot, man. And then they'll figure it out. Yeah.
So let's move on. We kind of started with the tight end there. We'll stick with the Chiefs on this one. We're starting Mahomes. I think the questions here come with the running backs. I assume we're all starting Pacheco this week if we do have him, trying to figure out a way to get him in your lineup.
Get paid.
Going up against this Broncos defense, who's been allowing, I believe, the most. Cheese. Yeah, I think they've been allowing the most fantasy points to running backs this year so far. So, at 35. Actually, let's do half PPR. So 38.9 fantasy points per game against running backs. Even if you were to take out the Miami game, all but Josh Jacobs actually scored over 25 points, 20 points per game. That includes Khalil Herbert, who went for 20. Breece Hall just recently went for 26.9. And you had week 2, Brian Robinson go for 25.9. So only Josh Jacobs went for less than 20. He only had 8.1, 19 carries, 48 yards. That was week 1. But after that, basically everybody ran on him. And then you, of course, include the 2 Gotti games, 49.3 and 41.7 points, respectively, for Achane and Mostert week 3. So I have to find a way to get Pacheco in there.
They're really not offsetting the curve there. You know what I mean? Like, it's been pretty bad anyways. It didn't matter.
Yeah. If you were to take, so they're giving up, what did I say? 35? Yeah. What was it? About 35 points per game. If you take out
with those games.
If you take out those games with Mostert, they're still giving up the 5th most points to running backs. If you even take out the 90 points that those guys scored. So they're still giving it up on the ground. When it comes to the wide receivers, here's when we really get, have some question marks. Rashee Rice, is he flexible? Or just startable? Is he flexible?
I think it's depending on your situation. I think you're boom or bust right there.
Okay. And then you also have MVS. Hasn't been doing much there. You have just a bunch of nobody else really there, right? So
yeah, I'm not starting.
Like, Rashee Rice is the only one maybe you would consider as a flex.
Yeah, other than Kelce, right? Everybody else is,
Kelce, Mahomes, fire him up.
You're hoping for, a decent game, I guess, basically. But you never know. They haven't defined a clear, guy for themselves over there. So it's kind of hard to even decide who to shoot for, right? Like, Mahomes hasn't been like, oh, this is the guy that I'm like, as a wide receiver that you're like going after. He just doesn't do that. He hasn't done that. I'm not sure why that is, but he like spreads the ball around too much.
Right. No one has more than 24 targets in 5 games. You got Rashee Rice leading with 24. You have actually Kadarius Toney behind him with 19. Then it's Sky Moore with 17. Justin Watson, interestingly, with 16. He's the 3rd highest scorer. Then you have MVS with 11. And then Justin Ross only has 6. So Yeah, I mean, like you said, he's spreading it all the way out. Unless your name's Kelsey, you're probably not starting it. Like I said, if you're really desperate in a situation, maybe you could throw Rashee Rice in here against the Broncos and hope for the best. So we'll move on here to the Broncos side of the ball. A lot more questions here. The big news on this side is Broncos running back Javonte Williams has no game injury designation heading into this Week 6 game. He's expected to return to action here tomorrow night. So, the Jaleel McLaughlin, Samaje Perine, the Jaleel kind of thing was only for a week, it looks like.
1 week.
Didn't even get 2 games out of him.
I got a good game out of it. That's all that matters.
Sometimes that's all you need. So what are we doing with these running backs? Are you starting them against this Kansas City offense, or I'm sorry, Kansas City defense, or, which one and how do you rank them?
Well, I would definitely start Javonte Williams. If he's coming back, they should be fine. They gave him a day, week rest, between all that. So McLaughlin's getting benched unless he actually gets hurt again, and then who to keep. So I wouldn't let him go just yet for McLaughlin. But I wouldn't be starting him anymore. Marvin Mims is another guy maybe we're looking at as far as wide receivers, but that's it on the Denver side. I don't even like Russell Wilson.
No Russ. And then what about Sutton and Judy?
They've been putting up numbers, man. Judy's still okay. He's got right. Not a couple weeks ago, I think it was when he finally started coming back. Sutton, I don't think he's going to be the guy anymore. You don't have to worry about starting him too much, at least in this game. You know what I mean? I think they're going to be playing from behind. So who knows? It might actually work in their favor to get some garbage time stuff. As I always mentioned, the game's not over till it's over, and then these guys are just getting some garbage touches sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have them ranked too high. I think I have them both kind of like wide receiver 3 flex type plays this week, depending on the situation you're in. Again, going up against potential negative game script here, they should be throwing. So, I think you can find a way to get them into your lineup, but I'm not dying to get them into my lineup. So, really just kind of depends on who you have there. Also, just kind of one thing, maybe Dulcich is coming back. I haven't heard quite, too much there. But I guess until then, it'll still be the Troutman show there at tight end. And again, unless you're in a real weird situation with tight end, I don't think I'm starting him either. So
yeah,
so that'll wrap up our Thursday night preview here. So let's see. Where are we at with likes? Do we have over 15 or hit 15 yet?
Let me go back over here. I was checking out some stuff.
Check that out. Let me get back to where we were in the chat here.
10. We're at 10. We got 2 more.
What? We only got 2 more? We only got 10? Come on, guys. We got like 20 people watching. You guys can hit that like button for us so we can get to the questions here. Let me know in the chat if you hit the like button already, and I'll answer your questions, man. I'll answer your questions if you hit the like button.
Scout's honor.
There we go. We'll get to a couple here, I guess. 10's okay. It's worth a couple more, I guess. So we got JH in the house saying he has his QBs, Lamar, Purdy. He has Diggs, Cup, Tay, I assume Devontae Adams, Ridley, or maybe Devontae Smith. Probably Smith based on where he drafted. Looks like Diggs and Cup unless he traded. Ridley, Palmer, and then Ingram. His running backs are Jacobs, Ford, Javonte Williams, Sanders, Keontae Ingram, and Jeff Wilson Jr. Defense is Kansas City. Kicker said he can wait. He's trying to build out the bench to trade for an RB2, 3. Kind of 3-2, somewhere in there. 3 for 2 trade. So yeah, he's it's a 1 QB half PPR league. So we're going to get into like some of our trade targets to do it that way, unless you have like specific teams or players you're trying to target on another team. We can kind of help you with that is the best way I can kind of answer that. But like we can just, if we're sitting here just pulling random things in a vacuum, but it really wouldn't be pertinent unless it's directly to your league. So let us know what, options are out there, guys, maybe that are in a situation where they can trade depending on how their team is. Give us some of those names and maybe we can put a package together for you. So I have no problem doing that. I just need a little more info to answer something like that, because I want to give you like an honest answer, and I want to just throw random stuff out there that probably might not actually even help you, because it just doesn't quite work that way. Not all the leagues are the same. So so help us out with that. We'll get back down to it when we get there. Alex Stevers is in here. New name to me. If you're new, hit that subscribe button for us here.
Oh, yeah.
Trying to hit 1,000. He says, thoughts on a way to improve my wide receivers. It's a triple flex league, full PPR. His wide receivers are Olave, Addison, Higgins, and Mike Wilson. His running backs are Bijan, Etienne, James Cook. His tight ends, Komet. He has McLaughlin, Akers, and Keontae Ingram on the bench. So he's looking to improve his wide receivers. He has Olave, Addison, Higgins, and Mike Wilson. So I definitely agree you need a little help there. Obviously, Olave hasn't been quite that wide receiver one. I think Addison is going to definitely produce here, so I wouldn't trade him.
I think Olave's going to have an awesome game coming up, though.
Yeah, I think with Derek Carr getting healthier and healthier, he should be back. To kind of what we expected here soon. Bijan, Etienne, I'm not touching, so maybe you're able to put James Cook and maybe Higgins together to go get. Who would you go get if you like? To me, those are realistically what he could put together, right? James Cook and Higgins. Would you be able to get a CD Lamb with something like that?
Oh yeah, you should be able to. You should be able to buy a low on CD Lamb right now, especially not too great of games happening recently.
Yeah.
I mean,
maybe Higgins. Maybe you can go.
But I think Higgins, I think is hard to move on because he hasn't been doing that great either.
Yeah, that's why you're kind of packaging it to someone who would, you're kind of giving them the quantity with the potential boom. They'd have to like, Higgins, of course. I mean, maybe you can get Waddle for those guys, but I don't know. The guy'd have to really be hurting, at running back there. Maybe you can get Puka if you consider that an upgrade over Higgins. And like maybe DJ Moore if you're believing into that. Maybe you can go get Nico Collins, DeAndre Hopkins.
People are not moving on DJ Moore anymore.
Yeah, maybe you could trade Higgins for Hopkins, like straight up, if you think that's good. I don't think that's a great trade, in my opinion. Maybe Hopkins and something else.
Maybe get a George Pickens or something, Mike Evans, somebody like that. Yeah. I think he could get.
Yeah, I mean, maybe if you're not looking for like total sexy appeal, but maybe just more production.
Yeah,
maybe you can go like Adam Thielen and somebody else, for Higgins and James Cook. It just kind of depends on, what you're looking for there. But I think realistically, James Cook and Higgins, if you can get an upgrade over Higgins, if not, you might just have to wait it out and hopefully, those guys would work there. So I don't think you're getting anything for McLaughlin, Akers, or Ingram. So you're hoping you're just hoping maybe they help you out. So once you trade Cook, at least you have those guys as, some backup. But I think James Cook and Higgins are who you can, take to do that. Yeah. So maybe we can do something similar here with JH's team that we just did there with Alex. So if you're looking at his team again, he's trying to build out his bench, or he's trying to build bench to trade for an RB2. So he has Jacobs and Ford. So who are some like RB2s you might be trying to target? Maybe somebody like Pierce. Maybe you can do Ford and somebody for Pierce. If the Pierce owner isn't happy, if you consider Ramondre Stevenson, maybe the Ramondre Stevenson owner might trade for Ford.
Yeah, because would you get a Kenneth Walker or Swift? You're not going to be able to get those guys, would you?
Yeah, I don't think you're getting that with Ford. You'd have to package somebody else with that.
Maybe you could get a Pacheco.
Yeah, is that really an upgrade over Ford, though? I mean, Ford has put up 18, 20-point games against even a tough defense.
Yeah, but he's facing San Francisco next, then he goes on to bye, then...
No, they just came off a bye.
They just came off the bye? Yeah, so he's facing San Francisco next, so he's playing you guys.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, and he's not going to be startable for that.
Yeah, exactly.
So, but he has Javonte Williams coming back, so you kind of might be okay. So, I don't know.
It's just.
I mean, I would package like Ford, maybe Ridley and Ford, and you can maybe get like a Brees or something if you put Ridley in there with it.
That's what I shoot for. Brees Hall is probably going to be able to get.
Yeah, but I don't know if the Brees Hall owner's giving him up, after what just happened. Not for a Ford Ridley package. As the Brees owner, I wouldn't give that up. but maybe like a Kamara, somebody like that. So, all right.
Yeah, because these
Well, hopefully
top
that helped a
10
little
running
bit.
backs or these other guys are just too hard to get now.
Yeah.
You got to pay a steep premium, and people know what they have, and they're not trying to give them up either. So
Exactly. Unless you're just trying to like fleece a new person in your league, but I don't see what the fun is in that. I played in a lot of competitive leagues, so that kind of stuff doesn't even fly. Like it doesn't even register in my.
yeah,
Obviously, if you could do something like that, do it, but not in the leagues that I'm playing in. That kind of stuff doesn't happen. So, so we'll move on. Hopefully, if he gave us some more info down at the bottom, we'll get to it when we get there. So we have Chris asking Dotson and Moss for Cook and Singletary. Which side do you like there?
Force Kirk and Singletary.
I think I'll take the Kirk Singletary side for me. Just with JT coming back, Dotson hasn't really been producing.
Yeah, Dotson hasn't been doing
I like
much.
Kirk over Dotson anyway.
And which Moss is this? There's two Mosses out.
It's Zach Moss. It's Zach Moss.
Then I'll go to the other side, Kirk and Singletary.
Yeah. So there we go.
Zach Moss's time's ticking.
Right.
JT back, time's a ticking.
Exactly. It might be, Moss is going to be good for the next couple games, but that might be the appeal, to be able to move him.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe you can move him to the
JT
owner.
He still had another decent game with JT back. So you're like, look, he's still all right.
But everybody knows, again, unless it's a super casual league. But I assume if you're just in a super, super casual league, you're probably not watching us, but maybe you are. And so you can maybe get some of those things done. But when you come play with the degenerates, stuff like that ain't flying.
Right?
So we're trying to help you guys out here and get the realistic stuff going on. But let's go. Alex was thinking of maybe packaging Addison and McLaughlin for a better wide receiver. Just doesn't necessarily know who to target. I'm not trading Addison right now with JJ going down.
Yeah.
Let him build his value.
He's gonna be. Yeah,
he should be good. I mean, he could completely dud out, so I could see considering it, but I don't know what McLaughlin.
KJ Osborne over there too as well. So I mean, it's one of those two guys. Maybe they could both feast. Who knows? But I mean, they're gonna fill a gap. There's a big gap that's got left behind.
Yeah, so for sure. There's definitely going to be targets.
I wouldn't be moving on Addison either.
And you're not really getting anything out of McLaughlin now with Williams coming back. So really, you're just kind of trading Addison straight up, unless you're trading him to the Javonte owner. But I don't know why he'd want him now. So, in my opinion, I don't know if that quite works. So,
I'm not sure who you should try to target with those guys because you can't.
Yeah, exactly. All right. So Chris is asking start two to Javonte, DeMarcado, Sanders, and Zach Moss.
I'd start Javonte, DeMarcado just to see what happens. But Sanders and Javonte.
I'm not touching Sanders. He's dealing with the shoulder and a groin injury right now.
Is he?
I think Zach Moss is still potentially startable, even though they said JT is going to get more than 10 snaps this week. DeMarcado playing against is it Cincinnati that they're playing against? Arizona?
Oh, he's way down there. Yeah, you're right. Javonte, DeMarcado then. Stick with my first one.
Oh, they're playing the Rams. So DeMarcado's playing the Rams. Not too bad of a matchup there. And then, of course, Javonte at the Chiefs. So I think I'm going to go Moss and that's tough. If Keontae Ingram's not active, because technically he's listed as the RB1 there right now, so that's just a little weird and interesting. He's been out the last 2 weeks with a neck injury, but is expected to come back to practice this week. So I'd keep an eye on that. If DeMarcado is the one coming into that week, coming into Sunday, and Ingram is inactive, then I'd probably go Moss and take my chances with DeMarcado. But it's kind of tough because you need to make that decision on Devontae tomorrow. So what are you doing with Javonte Williams against Kansas City coming off this hip with two other guys that they have no problem giving the ball and not really that great of an offense? I think I'd take my chances with Dawson.
I would take my chances with Javonte and DeMarco.
Okay, so you're going Javonte and who? Moss? We're both agreeing on Moss, right?
Mercado. No, I'll take.
Oh, you're going Javonte and Mercado? Okay, so I'm going to go Moss, Mercado, and I'll just throw Sanders in there or maybe pick up somebody else if
so Javonte's the least.
Or just go DeMarcado whether Keontae Ingram's healthy or not. Over Hurt Sanders since Javonte won't be an option for me. So that'd be me because I'm definitely getting Moss in there for at least one more week.
You think so?
Yeah, he has at least one more week.
Yeah, he's got more.
Remember, JT hasn't played football in practice since last December. It's now October. Right? He just practiced for the first time last week. Like they're not just going to go give him 20 carries in an actual real NFL game, like
Bust a hammy real
against
quick.
starters. Yeah, like that's just how you get re-injured right away.
Yeah.
And they just paid this dude a lot. So you think they're really going to risk him like that much? Richardson just got hurt. Like they're not winning anything right now. Like they just don't want to get this dude hurt. So, with the Richardson news, that actually kind of gets JT more as a sell for me. But we'll definitely get into that later. So, so there we go, Chris. Probably we spent a lot of time on that for you. So hopefully that helped you out. But we understand why you're asking the question because that was a tough one. So let's see. We got Martin in the house here. Make sure you guys go check him out. He's helping answer questions in there. So just give him a shout out for coming on here in the stream and supporting us. But we got Kyle Singer in here saying Michael Thomas or KJ Osborne and Ertz or Ferguson and Ford or Spears in full PPR. He needs one wide receiver, one tight end, and one running back. So let's start with the wide receivers first. Are you going Mike Thomas or KJ Osborne?
KJ Osborne.
So you're taking the chances with KJ Osborne. You got Mike Thomas, who's been doing pretty well going up against this Houston defense. They've been pretty tough, but Carr's getting healthier. So I think I'll just roll the dice with Thomas this week until I see exactly what Osborne's going to do. Because to me, he's just kind of a jag, just another guy. He's produced and he's done stuff. And if you're in a situation where you need to throw him in there, but if I've had someone like Mike Thomas, who's pretty much kind of been producing pretty well for where you drafted him, I think I'd still roll with him versus Osborne here this week. So let's pick one tight end.
More risky, and I think the opportunities are there for Osborne. And what you're getting in Michael Thomas. He hasn't been the Michael Thomas of the past, right? Like he used to be a big.
Not wide receiver one, Mike Thomas, but
yeah, no, he's not. He's not that. But even in the last game, he Osborne had 5 receptions on 9 targets of 49 yards. I'm taking my chances with that. I think that's going to go up versus what Thomas is going to do for you. But,
yeah. Hey, Thomas has only one game under double digits this week. It was against Tampa Bay, where he scored 9.3, so just barely missed it. He's saying 8, 9, 9, 6, and 7 targets. Not had any less than 50 yards. To me, it's a nice flex play. And again, I'd rather just go with that.
Yeah, he's like
gonna
a steady Eddie guy now.
Yeah, so that's just me. I guess maybe he's the more solid, consistent play. Maybe KJ Osborne's more of a boomer bust.
Yeah,
depending on what you're looking for in your lineup this week. All right, so let's move on to the tight end. We'll try to hurry it up here a little more. We're almost at the hour mark.
I'd take Ferguson.
Yeah, I'll take Ferguson too. Let's go Ford or Spears for the running back.
Ford.
Ooh. Ford against the Niners.
Oh yeah, no, but they're playing the Niners. No, I'll take Tajay Spears.
Yeah.
I think Ford over the long haul until Spears actually takes over the backfield. But it's still the Derrick Henry show. Let's not get it twisted. Spears is like a flex play.
Yeah, to me, Spears has. He's out kind of produced. He's coming off a 16-point game, had 7 carries, and a touchdown and 4 catches, which is nice. He's seen at least 4 targets in basically all but one game, coming off a 5-target game. So in full PPR, that usage is increasing. You're going up against Baltimore. I would just rather not face anybody going up against San Francisco in this case. So I would take my chances with Tajay Spears.
But let's face it though. There's been a couple guys already that did well against San Francisco, and then we were like, "Oh, they weren't going to do nothing." And then,
yeah, Kyron Williams.
Mm-hmm.
That was about it.
That was another guy. I forgot the name, but there was 2 guys that did all right against San Francisco's defense.
All right. Fix your mic a little bit. I'm having a little. Okay, that's better.
But either way, you don't want to. Let's face it. You don't want to face that defense, so you're definitely going to go Spears regardless.
There we go. All right, so we have a tough time trying to get through these questions quickly. We like to take our time with them with you guys and talk it out. So hopefully you guys appreciate that. Yeah, hopefully you guys appreciate that. We're not just shooting from the hip here for clicks. So we want to truly help you guys out. All right, so we got Dole Qatar in the house, new name to me. So hopefully if you're new here, still watching, I knew it took a little while to get to your comment here, but hopefully hit that subscribe button for us. We'll get to your question here. It says Dynasty is 4-1. Traded Fields and Debo for a first-round pick. The team is 0-5, and they don't start for me. What are your thoughts?
traded Fields and Debo for a first-round pick.
I assume it's one QB because you would be able to get a lot more for Fields and Debo if it was super flex. So let's just grade it. Give it a letter grade.
I give it a B because those are some serious players in the Dynasty League, right?
Yeah, and they're fairly young. Like it's not like you're trading off Mike Evans and Kirk Cousins.
Yeah.
Fields is which I just did for Debo, Burrow right now.
Yeah, both of them. I mean, Fields is just starting his career. Really, basically, he's finally taken off.
Yeah.
Debo's what, 3 years, 4 years in? 4 years?
Yeah, he just hit his second contract. So I think he's what, 26, 27?
So he's basically going for the first round pick next year because he's getting it from the 05 team, who's probably going to, end up being last place. So he's definitely getting a first pick in the next season. I'm still,
well, it's a first pick in Dynasty, so it's just a first round rookie pick. So
yeah,
I mean, if it's a high pick and you're going to get like Marvin Harrison Jr., then I think that was good.
Yeah.
If it's the 101, I think it was good. If not, it's it is what it is. So yeah. So Kyle said he thumbs up. So he has his thumbs up in there. So we appreciate the like. We got to your question there. And he said he appreciates our response there. So there we go. If it says at Ron, just let Ron do it. We'll get through these.
I didn't get to that one. You did that one.
Oh, I didn't click that. Did you?
Oh no, you did.
Pretty sure you did. Oh, I guess it's just clicking everywhere. Ghost clicking. So let's see. Blast says Lamar Jackson, Jonathan Taylor for Joe Burrow and Keenan Allen. So this, I told him to throw an offer in the chat. I don't think I give up Keenan Allen for that, man. That's not enough. That's not enough for me.
Yeah, Keenan.
I think it's a downgrade to Lamar, and it's a downgrade from Allen to Jonathan Taylor in a PPR league with a 100-yard bonus. I mean, Keenan Allen's getting like 15 targets and no Mike Williams now. So you're going to have to come a little harder than that. I need at least some decent wide receiver in return. Maybe I would consider it. So let's see. Keep it coming. So let's see.
Get that live trade going here.
Exactly. We'll see if we can make a trade out here. You guys will see how I try to work my trades. And Blast and I, we've worked together in sales together. So we get tough with each other. But we can figure something out. We posture for a while, and then we did that. He said change Jonathan. He just texted me right now. He said change Jonathan Taylor to Travis Etienne. Ooh, it's closer.
Oh, then yeah. Now you're talking.
That's closer. That's
a lot. Way closer.
That's closer. Let me see. I have both of our teams up here right now. Let me see on this team. Do I have? I already have Christian Kirk on this team. So I don't want to have Christian Kirk and Etienne, but I like the offer. If I didn't have Christian Kirk, that's closer, but I'd still want some type of receiver in return. I can't just give up my number one wide receiver who's like literally a top 3 wide receiver for barely anything and a downgrade at quarterback. So keep coming. I mean, come on. You got Cooper Kupp, you got Puka, you got CMC on this team. Like, come on. You could do better than that. You could do better. All right, so we'll get to that.
He's even trading. He sounds like he's fine.
Yeah, we're getting there. All right, so we got G Hop in the house saying what's up. Was that you clicking or is that me randomly clicking?
On this next one, yes. I seen G Hop.
Oh, see, now I don't know.
I went to the next G Hop. I skipped all the other nonsense that was in between. Not that it was nonsense, but they're talking amongst themselves in the chat.
Yeah. Okay, good stuff.
There's a lot of people in the chat. Glad to see you guys are getting the exposure. Yeah, dude, it's coming together. Are you guys here supporting us? We're supporting you guys, trying to get questions answered, and everybody here is a community together. We'll get this straightened out and hopefully get the right answer, get you guys championships at the end of the day, right?
Absolutely. And again, just to let you guys know, Ron is one of our Get Right ambassadors. He's in my ambassador league. What he's telling you guys in there, we may not always align. But it comes from a good source. So just to let you guys know, I'm sure you see his moderator tag on there. So not saying I sign off on everything he says, but I can let you know he's not like a troll or just out here to try to mess with people. He's giving you his true takes, and he knows what he's talking about in there. Even though it may be off, like I just think he's off a little bit on some things. But we just don't see eye to eyes. But on this one. I'm a wide receiver heavy guy. He's a running back heavy guy. You know, we're different on a couple guys like Stevenson and some of these guys, but just to let you guys know, he's definitely there to answer your guys' questions there in the chat. So
we got one from J.A. Shear,
yeah.
start one, half PPR, Ford versus San Francisco, Javonte versus KC, Ingram, the real Arizona running back, RB1 versus the Rams, JWJs versus Carolina Sanders. Definitely not Ford, so we already covered that. So he's thinking Ingram is going to be the real running back over there for Arizona, Deontay Ingram. So it should be interesting to see that. But he's also just coming back from injury also, so I'm not sure if they're going to just fire him right in
he's
there.
saying it's Sanders versus Miami is the last guy that you have to choose from.
Oh, okay. And that's probably who I'm going to go with.
Sanders with the shoulder and groin issue with Chuba taking
Keep
everything
saying that,
over
but-
there. I'm not. I think I'm gonna roll with Javonte on that one.
Javonte Williams?
Yeah. Versus all these other options, man. I mean, San Francisco.
Yeah,
You know,
that's terrible.
he says he's the real Arizona RB1. I haven't heard that. I haven't
heard that from anybody.
Well, besides the team saying he is the RB1 according to their depth chart, but is what it is. Hasn't played the last 2 games, dealing with a neck injury. Now walking in this opportunity where DeMarcado just came off a pretty good game, filling in for him. So that's tough. And then the question marks with not only Sanders declining health. His usage is going down, his efficiency is going down. Just that offense isn't moving the ball like we thought it was going to do. And it's mostly their negative game script. So it's been a Thielen and DJ Chark show over there. Jonathan Mingo's back healthy too. To me, Javonte has the least amount of question marks, at least heading into Kansas City. You know, practicing full, is active. I'd roll my chances there. That's just me. That's a tough, these are the running back questions, man, we're dealing with right now. That's rough. That's rough.
He's now Sanders like number 30 running back right now.
Yeah.
Questionable shoulder. Yeah.
That's tough. So anyway, so there we go. What else we got in here? So they're all talking to Ron. Again, this is just Ron's show. We're just here being the face for him. He says, "What's up, fellas? Long time no see. What's up, bro, Cal? How's it going, my guy?"
Up? Yeah.
Absolutely. Good to have you in here. He's usually working. He works nights and usually sleeping during the day. He had a crazy schedule there during the off season, but always glad when you can join us here live, man. Appreciate you. So let's see.
Scott Fish,
there we go.
13, scoring T-Lock or Devontae Smith.
So you get points per reception, point per first down, and everything else is pretty much the same. But you get that point per first down reception.
Go T-Lock.
And I think it's an extra like bonus point for a rushing first down, even too, if you were to get that. But I'm gonna go. Who'd you go with? Lockett?
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna go.
He's always producing, man. He's like
Gosh, man, Smith can just go off anywhere, but yeah, I think I'm gonna go Lockett. Just pay attention to Geno Smith. Like he's a little kind of banged up right now, from what I see. So keep an eye on that. I don't think it's gonna be anything serious, but I think I'd roll the dice with Lockett there. Let's see. Oh, we got JH saying he liked it. Appreciate that. Make sure you guys hit that like and subscribe button when you're watching here. What else do we got? Alex is in here saying it's a 12-man triple flex with 8 bench spots. The most on player in free agency is Irv Smith. Oh, he's talking at Ron again. See?
Yeah,
it's just Ron's show.
He's talking to Ron.
All right. So who else we got here? Appreciate that, man. See, that's why Ron holds it down in there for us. Here we go. We got Roberto Perez. He's saying, are y'all... Man, we're like 25 minutes behind on these chats, so we'll try to hurry it up. He says, are you all starting at Roshan Johnson, Javonte Williams, or Rashee Rice at the flex? If Roshan's healthy, I'd go Roshan. Then I would take my chances with Rice there in the flex. Maybe he scores a touchdown, and then I'd go Javonte Williams if you're looking for a little more floor. If you need some kind of boom or bust, I'd go Rashee Rice. But I would start Roshan again over either one of them if he's on the protocol.
Starting, though, right?
Yeah. Absolutely.
Is he a concussion protocol?
Yeah. Oh, man, but that's the tough thing. You need to make that decision now. So I think based on the decisions you have, it's really between Javonte or Rashee Rice because they both play tomorrow.
Yeah.
Again, if you need boom, Rashee Rice. If you're looking for more of a floor with a potential boom, if he scores, then Javonte. But I'll go Rice. So there we go. What else we got here? Hunter Johnson. He got sent Alvin Kamara, Chris Olave, Jordan Addison for Devontae Adams. He has CMC, lucky. Diamont, wow. Ayuk, T. Higgins, and Amari Cooper. So Kamara, Chris Olave, Jordan Addison for Devontae Adams. Or you keep in Adams. I mean, that's a package. Like, someone's coming for Adams. And if you were going to trade him, that's the kind of package you need to get for Adams.
I would do it.
It's just, does this make sense for your team?
I guess it all depends on what he could start, right? Because if you're just getting Kamara and Olave or Jordan Addison to replace these guys, can you even put him in your lineup?
Yeah. So, like, I mean, he's starting Adam. If it's a 3 wide receiver, let's assume Devontae Adams, Ayuk, T. Higgins probably sitting, Cooper. You're still able to start both those guys. I mean, yeah, CMC and Demont, so it's not like
So
you
you'd
really
be
need
starting
Kamara.
Ayuk, Cooper, and Olave, and then now you have depth with Addison and
Yeah.
Kamara.
This is a great package, but I think I still would go with Tay. I mean,
Still
unless
go
you
with what?
literally have no, I think I'd stay with Devontae Adams with this team. Unless you're like really,
The other thing is, who's he going to have to drop to take up the space?
yeah, that's the other thing too. Yeah, well said. So that's why, to me, it's a respectable package, but I'm not saying it doesn't make sense for your team unless you need some depth. But I think I'd still rather have the better player in the deal, in Devontae Adams. He's a little banged up, but he'll be fine. Dude's getting 20 targets. None of these guys are getting 20 targets. I mean, Kamara had 14. It was close his first game, but yeah. So that's me. What are you thinking?
I'm thinking I need to know more, man. I need to know who you have to drop to make room for these guys.
We need to
Because
know
if-
more, Hunter. Let us know. We'll
because
hopefully
if we
get to it
that
here.
guy out of there, who you gonna, who you making space with, and I also want to know who you can start. Like, is it two wide receivers and a flex and 2 tight ends, or like, is it 3 wide
Right.
receivers?
So
Like,
if
that
he's
would-
still listening, because this came up like I said, like 25 minutes ago.
oh,
So
shoot.
Hunter, if you're still here with us, man,
I just noticed
let
the
us know a little
timestamp.
more info. If not, that's my opinion. I'm gonna go with stick with Adams on that, unless they want to upgrade a piece or two there, remove a guy and upgrade another piece. I think I'm sticking with Adams. So let's see. J Media in the house, my fellow
J
Niner
Media.
brethren, says, "What's up, fellas? I need an analysis of Jalen Warren rest of season. I think he's going to be flexible, weekly flexible, and anything happens to Najee, he'll be right up there with the Jerome Fords and those type of fellas, maybe even a little ahead. And just with his usage in the passing game, their snaps have basically been about 50-50 these last couple weeks, which is the first time you've kind of seen a split backfield in Pittsburgh in a while. So I like him. I'm stashing him in several places. Could be a bye week filler, but that's how I feel about that. Anything you agree or disagree with there?
Oh yeah, everything's spot on. He's just a flex play for right now. I was just
Telling you
looking
to
at this
elbow cough it.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that. I was just looking at the points that he has right now. It's just, again, flex points at this point. And like Anthony said, unless Najee goes down, I don't know why they don't move on from Najee, but whatever. You know what I mean? Like, it is what it is. You definitely want to keep on holding on Warren. I mean, he could be a trade piece for that matter. Because some people, you could package him with other people, and people might still consider his value that he does have. But like Anthony said, just flex play till further notice.
There we go. Blast says,
Yeah,
I
so
smashed that like button. About time you hit that trade accept button, Ant. What's up with it? So like I said, man, come a little stronger. I haven't seen another text pop up here yet. Let me double check. Still just the Travis Etienne, but I have Christian Kirk, so you got to help me out there. I don't like having him there. So, all right, we'll move on here.
H guys, a Kelsey, CD, Kamara, Kyron.
I think that's part of what they were talking about up there. I was kind of
earlier.
looking at that too. Yeah. So they're not taking that risk. Probably two. They're talking to Ron again.
Talking about what he was asking. He's like, I'd be taking a risk that Roshan actually plays. I was waiting to see what they say tomorrow. Yeah, that's your
Okay.
best bet. Just find out if he's actually playing, because we would definitely choose Roshan to be the starter out of the group that you mentioned with Rashi Rice and Javante. Um, but if Roshan's not playing, I mean, it's kind of hard. You got to roll your dice on that, and that's a tough dice roll. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
you might end up with a big fat zero instead of just something.
Right. So we got George in the house. I'm not gonna. We've already said all that. So I'm gonna try to. Like I said, we're like 30 minutes behind on chats here. Someone offered me Kelsey and Brees Hall for Pacheco and Cup. He'd be getting the Kelsey side of it. Which side are you on there, Frank? Kelsey and Brees Hall or Pacheco and
JC
Cup?
and Brees Hall for Pacheco and Cup. Oh, I'm taking Kelsey and Brees Hall.
I think I'd roll the dice with Kelsey and Brees Hall as well too, because to me you're upgrading over Brees Hall. Cup you've probably been getting by with so far. Maybe you picked up Puka Nakua,
Yeah.
and you're getting that upgraded with Kelsey. To me and George, if I'm not mistaken, I believe this might be your 8 or 10 team league. So if it's a smaller league like that, you definitely want those higher end pieces in each position. Having Kelsey in an 8 or 10 man league is literally a cheat code. As long as he continues to be Kelsey, which he's sitting as the tight end 2 right now behind Laporta. But that's my
It'll
opinion
change by the
there.
end
So
of the year.
I'd go get Kelsey there.
Wait till after this game with Denver, he'll go right back into number 1.
Yeah, I think he gets Denver again too.
It's a
Unless it's
get right
week 18,
game.
that'd be tough.
That's a get right game right there.
Exactly. Let's see. Did I miss something here?
Back to the show here. We got something about Rams.
We got. Well, I see this said 2 boys and there's Scary Pops in here. He just says Rams, but I'm not sure what his pop part of. I didn't see another comment up there, so
Yeah, that's the first comment.
maybe he's just shouting out the Rams.
Yeah,
So
shout
either
out
way,
the Rams.
we'll
He's a
pop you
Rams
up on
guy.
the screen there.
Good looking out.
Hopefully you're subscribed to us here. So we got EK back in the house. What's up, EK? How's it going? Welcome back. He says Adams and Cooper. Is that Amari Cooper or Cooper Cup? I assume Amari Cooper because you're using last names, but you think you fooled us before. Someone did.
Yeah, he did. It was
It might have been him.
The whole way
He always gets us. Yeah, always gets us with that. So Adams for Cooper and Jacobs. So Devontae Adams for Cooper and Jacobs. I think it's a decent package if you need a running back. Like again, you had Chubb or someone go down. But even still, like that other package where you're getting Kamara, Olave, and whoever else it was, that was good. Based on his team specifically, I would have rather had, because he had CMC and Demont already. But if you're hurting at running back, then this is a decent package.
Oh, and here comes the last question on this one. Remember, he actually preempted this pre-show.
Well, what's your answer for the last question before you go on to the next one?
I said Cooper and Jacobs. I already said that. I said it right off the bat.
Oh, okay, my bad.
Oh no worries. I just said Cooper and Jacobs. I just didn't explain it more.
Okay. I set it up for you to say, "Hey Frank, which side are you getting?" You're like, "All right, I got another question from Blaz." I was like, "Whoa."
No, sorry, my bad.
All right, no, it's all good.
Cooper and Jacobs. I just figure that's a very fair trade area. Cooper Cup was the number 1, and can be the number 1 again. So it's not like you're downgrading from Adams much, and you're getting a running back. So
Yeah.
I think you're gaining.
Is it different if it's not Cooper Cup and it's Amari Cooper?
Oh yeah, then you're staying with Adams.
Okay, so I just for the sake of
clarify that,
yeah, for the sake of all that.
If it's Cooper Cup, I'll go with Cooper Cup. If not,
yeah,
no. If it's not Cooper Cup, then no, stick with Adams.
There you go. All right, so Diesel's asking the question he was asking us as we were coming on to the show here. He said, "All right, so who are you guys starting?" We'll put the trade talks on hold here. Yeah. He says Tua versus Carolina or Justin Fields versus Minnesota, and why? So he doesn't just want an answer; he wants to know why.
Well, I would take Tua versus Carolina just because of the higher ceiling that he has, the offense that they have over there, and the opportunity to get ungodly fantasy points. Justin Fields, on the other hand, has been doing pretty good coming up, but he just hasn't scored. He doesn't have that ceiling that Tua has, and I'd rather have that ceiling over Justin Fields. Carolina's not that tough of a defense that I would have to worry about anything like that. It's not like he's facing San Francisco in Tua's case or something like that, where it's like, oh, this defense is one of those that you really got to consider who you're actually starting. That's not the case here. So I'm just going with Tua. I didn't even think about that long. So,
all right. So let's see
What you got on the
here.
defenses? Since you got the defense,
Yeah, you know that's what I'm bringing up,
yeah, I
right?
was trying to look it up, but you're much better at those than I am.
No worries. So I got it here for you. So you have the Panthers who have given up the 24th most points to quarterback, or least, I guess you would say, at only 15.9 on average, whereas the Vikings are sitting at giving up the 7th most points to the quarterback position, averaging 22.6 points per game. When you combine that with Justin Fields' rushing upside as well too. So not only do you look at the points versus quarterbacks, you also want to look at points versus running backs as well too. Whereas the Vikings, they're 22nd there. So you know they're
Vikings being
gonna.
a shittier defense.
Yeah, I mean, both are pretty pretty down there, so to speak. But to me, I think that's where I'd go kind of overall. We've seen
So who
if
you
he can
picking though?
continue what he's
You
doing,
confused
and
me
again,
with
he
that.
just came up with the QB1. He was just QB1 last week, so I'm going Fields.
You're going
I don't
Fields?
think you can go wrong either way, really. But I just think in that case, you want someone I think who has the highest upside. Which when you put that rushing in there, that's what truly allows him to be the QB1 any given week. So there you go. That's my 2 cents.
So it's a split. Ron,
We're
who you
split.
taking?
Yeah, we got to ask Ron. We got to go to Ron on that one. So there we go.
Tiebreaker.
He did say he would do go get Jacobs and Cooper. It's a good wide receiver in return. So Ron agreed with me on that one. See, every once in a while we come together on these things. So let's see.
I think we all agreed on that. Go get Cooper and Jacobs.
Well, you said if it was not Amari Cooper, or if it was Amari Cooper instead of Cooper Kupp, then you want the Adams side.
Yeah. So which
All
one
right.
is it though? Are we talking Amari Cooper or Cooper Kupp?
Yeah, that's what we still need clarified. So let's see. So they're all talking to Ron in there, holding down the chat. We appreciate it. What did he say? He said, "Guy wants to now Kelsey, McLaurin, and Brees for Pacheco, Kupp, and Waller. He would still get the Kelsey side. So he wants to add McLaurin, and you
That's
added
just
in Kupp. Nah, I'm not doing that.
no. McLaurin's droppable now. I mean, you can
Yeah.
hold on to him one more week if you want, but he's
No,
pretty
not
much droppable.
McLaughlin. Not McLaughlin. This is Scary Terry. McLaurin.
Scary Terry. Okay.
Yeah.
Now you're talking Kelsey,
Going down
Scary
from
Terry,
Kupp
and
to
Brees
McLaurin. Yeah.
for Pacheco, Kupp, and Waller. I don't want Waller anyways. And Scary Terry's been doing.
Were you
some
giving? I
things.
thought you were getting Brees last time.
So he's now getting Kelsey, McLaurin, and Brees, and giving up Pacheco, Cooper Kupp, and Waller.
Oh yeah, he's still getting Brees. Okay. Yeah, just take out McLaurin and Kupp. I wouldn't mind giving him Pacheco and Waller for Kelsey and Brees. Yeah.
I don't think
whoever
that
else it
guy's going to
was.
take Pacheco and Waller without the Kupp.
Yeah, wasn't there another piece involved? I was trying to go back up now. Now it kind of confused me a little bit.
I'd still
Anyway.
take Kelsey, McLaurin, and Brees is a good side. I'll take
Whatever
that side.
the first one was, I like better. I don't want this one, so I can't go back and scroll up there to see. But yeah. Let's see. All right, so they're just kind of talking it out there. More actually is working. Do
I
we
know
have
what
any
we're
more?
going to need to do is at Get Right. We're at GR or something to make sure you're talking to us because you do the at Ron's.
Right. At least at Rasta or at Frank in here for us one time. Or
Here's one for
guys,
you.
yeah, Get Right. There we go.
Declines my trade. I want the listeners to know he is currently trailing in the standings behind Frank in the first league ever, and my wife, who trusts the cutest boy available.
Hey, happens, man. Like I said, I Burrow and
Who's your
Chubb.
wife on
I'm still
there?
coming there.
Is she the one that's in like first place? She's doing pretty good. I traded with
Is
her.
it?
Didn't work
Is that
out
her
that
in
well.
there? I don't even know who
There's a football chick.
That's in the
Her
Hooray.
name's football chick.
Oh, that's in the Hooray Beer League.
No, that's in his league.
Oh, are you in that league too?
My girl's in
I
that
didn't know
league.
you were in that league.
My
Oh,
girl's in that
she's in
league.
that league.
Yeah.
Oh, see, I
So
didn't
I'm
know
your
that.
Huckleberry. I'm
I
your
didn't know you.
Huckleberry.
Oh, okay. I didn't know you knew about that league.
Yeah.
So good
No, man,
stuff.
we're both in there. What the heck?
Yeah, no, I didn't even know that. I don't, dude. I got like 16 leagues, so it's hard
I
to kind
know.
of keep them all together.
Oh,
Especially
he said
since
it.
that's a
He said
brand new
it.
one.
There's something in the.
He's in a new chat. Read it off.
That's
I'm gonna
her.
look through
Oh, it
here.
is. Yeah, that's her. It's football chick. So that is his wife. Okay. So yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, she's football chick. I know that on his side, but yeah, I didn't know who's yours
Oh,
was.
that's
I'm
cool.
Huckleberry.
They're playing
Good
this
stuff.
week, by the way.
Oh, very cool. Well, good luck to them.
Yeah.
And good luck to me too.
I still have to set the lineup, figure out what is happening.
You got to let her do that. You got to have her do that. All
I
right, so
gotta
let's
try.
get to G Hops.
That's the thing is what I gotta give the reins a little bit more that way.
Yeah, we'll just tell
She
her
does
this
like
is
it.
what you got to do. Just
She's
show her
getting
how to do
into
the
it a little bit more.
research. Yeah, show her how to do the research.
I
It'll be
I
fine.
don't think she wants to do that part.
See, that's why it's easy to start off with best ball sometimes when you're
Right.
first getting started.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's all right. It's fun. Just throw you in the fire. All right, so we got
G-Hop.
G Hop asking, oh guys, I forgot to ask, help me pick one wide receiver, 2 running backs, and a flex. So he has Amari, Godwin, Tank Dell, Jacoby, McLaurin. So let's just start with the wide receivers first. So you got to pick one out of those.
I'll take one.
Mm-hmm.
With Lauren.
One wide receiver. I think I'm going to go Jacoby Myers. Numbers he's been putting up lately. I'll go with that. Tank Dell's still in the concussion protocol. He's basically already been ruled out this week. Amari's going up against San Francisco. Godwin, I'd still rather just take my chances with Myers over there. Who is Tampa Bay playing this week? The Lions? Ooh, that's going to be a shootout. If Evans doesn't play, maybe I go Godwin's over Jacoby. But to me, it's between Godwin and Jacoby. Maybe he'll still make the lineup in the flex. All right, so let's see. So he needs 2 running backs out of Kamara, Saquon, Hall, and JT. Brees Hall for sure. Are you in agreement there? Even though he's going up against Philly?
Yeah, Hall and Kamara.
And then, Hall going up against the Texans or Jets. Kamara going up against the Texans. Saquon still coming off that high ankle. I want to see what that offense looks like if they can actually put up points with him back in the lineup.
Yeah,
and JT still in the split backfield.
And I'm telling you, I like McLaurin even better now.
Okay. So I'm going to go. I think I'm going to agree with Hall and Kamara. And
Hall and Kamara, man.
And then we have to pick one flex. So out of the guys you haven't picked yet, who are you flexing?
No, I would have picked Jacoby then as the flex because I picked McLaurin to start. I would pick Jacoby the flex. Followed by possibly Saquon just to, well, maybe JT actually.
Yeah, I would go Godwin since I already put starting Jacoby. I'd put Godwin in the flex, whether or not Evans plays. So, yeah, Godwin, Jacoby, Hall, and Kamara for me.
All right, moving on.
All right, so there we go. We have Ray in the house. What's up, Ray? He's saying, big question of the day. What 5 running backs do you think I could target while trading Barkley? I don't know, man. You're like trading him at his lowest. Like maybe you can get someone to give you Demont. Like if you had Demont, would you trade him for Barkley right now?
No.
That's tough. So
I
don't know, man. I don't know if I'm trying to trade Barkley away unless you could get something, but you might have to package something with him to move up to like a CMC. Like no one's giving you CMC. You're probably not getting Eckler.
Etienne, Walker?
Eckler, yeah. Etienne, like I would rather just see how Barkley pans out because I think his upside when healthy and
I think
the
the
focal
best you
point
could
of the
do is
offense.
get a Brian Robinson or a Bijan area.
I don't think those guys would go off of that. So it's kind of hard trying to trade up for running
that's what I'm
backs because
saying.
everyone's looking for him.
I don't think you're going to get it done.
Or you're like trading him for 2 RB2s if you're trying to like get depth, but you're not going to get anyone as good as Barkley with his ceiling. So I'd honestly just stick it out with Barkley, man. You've waited for him this long. You can wait a little bit longer.
Yeah.
If you've gotten by. I mean, if you're 0-5 or something, then yeah, that's tough. But yeah, like maybe ETN. So let's see if we can do 5. ETN, Ken Walker, Kamara.
Bijan maybe.
I don't think you're trading for Bijan. I don't think you're getting CMC. I don't think you're getting Eckler.
Can you get Tony Pollard?
Probably Tony Pollard if you think that's an upgrade over Barkley.
I mean,
Yeah, it's
where
hard
they're
to get.
sitting at right
It's
now,
hard
where
to
they're
pick.
sitting at, he is.
Yeah, it's hard to pick 5 guys. I would take more, like unless you're
Yeah.
trying to trade for like a hurt Achan, but he's already hurt. You're just getting him back. I mean, maybe Kyron Williams, like maybe you can get JT, but you're just kind of trading what you have for what you're getting. Maybe DeAndre Swift in a piece. Otherwise it's starting to get down there. Talking about like Josh, you're going for guys who are you're buying low on.
You gotta
you're
wait for a
selling
good
low on.
week. You gotta wait
Yeah.
for a good week from Barkley to sell high on him, if that's how you feel about it.
Or like some bad weeks or a small injury for
Some other guys.
for someone else. Yeah. So with what we're looking at here in week 6, I don't think I can name 5 guys that I'd rather have over Barkley right now this week. So whether or not I'm starting him is a different story, but to roster, I don't think I can think of five of their guys.
Yeah, exactly. That's a different story too.
Yeah,
Starting and just keeping them on your team.
exactly. So there we go. Where are we at here? Would you sit Amari against the San Francisco? I don't know if that's part of another question, but just in a vacuum. Obviously, depends on who you got. But like, let's say, would you start Addison over Amari this week?
I would start Addison easily.
All right. I think that kind of helps you guys decide where we're at. I would too. But I have a league where I'm starting Cooper just because I have to, even if Deshaun's out. So
He's asking, is Deshaun out? I don't think they said he's out, but I'm pretty.
yeah, last time
thinking
they
he's
thought
not
he was
starting.
playing. Yeah, they thought he was playing. So they were talking about PJ Walker. Yeah, I don't know if I can start Cooper if Walker's playing. I have Nico Collins just in case. Like that's my backup plan.
Yeah.
If Deshaun's playing, I think I'm starting him. If not,
At this
then I'll
point,
throw
I'm
in.
looking- I have Deshaun and Richardson, and Richardson's hurt for sure.
Yeah.
He's not starting, so I have to decide on what I'm going to do with Deshaun. So
Oh, you're gonna have to go get Purdy.
Yeah, I'm going to have to go get somebody.
I knew you weren't gonna say the name. All right, so let's see.
Scrappy plays Fortnite. What's up?
There we
dude?
go. Welcome back, Scrappy.
Yeah.
He's saying what's up. Let's see. We have a Jimmy G sucks in there.
That's
I mean,
true. That
he'll
happens.
produce.
These guys we're that far back. Like that's
Yeah,
crazy.
dude, that's what I'm saying. I'm trying to get caught up. What else do we got here?
Calvin Brown. Here we go.
Oh, bro. Oh, go ahead.
Trying to acquire Devontae Adams as well. Non-PPR would give Waddle and Madison. I have Jay Cook, Bijan, Montgomery, Foreman, and Achan. Wide receivers are Devontae Smith, Godwin, and Hopkins, and Judy, and of course Waddle for and Madison. So if you give Waddle and Madison for Adams, I'd do it.
I mean, I would send the offer. It's as an Adams owner, would you accept Waddle and Madison? Nah. I wouldn't even want Kamara, Olave, and whoever else for Adams, like on that specific team.
You don't
So I
know
don't
where
think
they're
I could do
sitting at, though. You don't know where they're sitting at, though, right?
True, but that's why I'm trying to answer it that way. Like I'm coming from me being an Adams owner. If I got this offer in a non-PPR league, which I do have them in, I'm rejecting that like instantly. Especially if I looked at your team and I saw you had Bijan, Montgomery. Like it needs to be at least like I would counter with like Waddle and Montgomery. Like that would be a little closer. But then do you do that, right?
Yeah.
Like would you give Waddle and Montgomery for Adams? Like does that help your team? So there we go. So Scrappy says he traded JJ and Laporta for Diggs and ETN, and he already has Kelsey. Love it. So he traded away JJ and Laporta for Diggs and ETN.
That's nice.
Yeah, I mean it's not bad. I mean,
JJ's
you
come
might have
back
been
later
able
on this season, but I mean,
yeah, you might have been able to get a little more.
Well.
Yeah. If you're sitting at like 4-1, 3-2, I don't think I like it as much unless you really needed a good running back. Otherwise, I honestly think JJ being hurt should still get you more, or you're better off waiting it out. if you're afraid he might not come back and play and read all into all that kind of off the field trading Cousins kind of thing, I could see if that's worrying you. Then you definitely got a nice package. Like at least you got Diggs, you got like a top 5, wide receiver for him, and you got a top, at this point because of all the injuries, you have an RB1 and an ETN. So I don't hate it. I mean, I give it like a B plus, A minus. Probably closer to an A minus, A minus. I'll leave it in there. It's still a pretty good trade, especially since you have Kelsey. So, all right. So we'll move on. What else you got here? Are we finally caught up? No, we still got a little ways to go.
What about Adams for Walker and Olave?
I mean, if I needed a running back, I might consider that package for Adams.
For Kim Walker and Olave? That's pretty decent right there.
Yeah, that's decent. I'd still want a better wide receiver than Olave, though, and still want Walker. But that's my problem. Like, if I can get one guy getting 20 targets in an offense in one position on my team, I'm not trying to split that over 2 positions. Like, Adams, to me, can score like what Walker and Olave kind of do every week. Like, it's not too far off than that. So, like, when he's on, like, he's already had a 40-point game this year. Like, I want guys like that in my lineup. I don't think Olave's that kind of guy. Maybe Walker can have a boom game like that, if he goes for like 102 or 3 touchdowns. But to me, I think Adams has a better chance of scoring you those 30, 40-point games than Walker and or Olave. So that's why.
Here's the backstory to that, though.
Okay.
I don't trust Barkley with that team anymore. I've been trying to trade him since week 4.
Okay. Yeah, that's what I was saying. In that case,
that ankle does not look good. Doesn't look good.
Yeah.
So.
That's what I'm saying. I don't think there's like 5 other running backs you can trade up for. It would is there guys that you don't mind having, like maybe a Demont and someone else? Because again, your concerns are probably going to be the other people's concerns as well too. So they're only going to want Barkley if they can buy low on him. You're trying to sell high on him. Again, yeah, if you're going to trade Saquon for JT, like, again, at least he's not coming off a recent injury. I mean, he had an ankle that held him out since last December, and he's coming back. You got Saquon basically coming back at the same exact time, just a more recent injury. So, you're kind of still trading a little bit of a baggage for baggage there. Another streamer said I should do Barkley and Olave for Swift and Adams. I know Swift is a top 10, but would you all do that? Yeah, if you could trade away Barkley and Olave for Swift and Adams, the way I've been talking about Adams, that I would do.
Yeah.
Like, to me, that's enough of an upgrade over Olave, and you're not losing too much with the way Swift is producing now. There's just, of course, the same injury concerns we've had over Swift for a while. So, yeah. Keep it rolling because I have no idea even where you are.
That's all right. I just scrolled down.
There we go.
The owner said that he wanted Waddle and Madison. We've been talking since yesterday. He started with Monte and or Bijan, and I said no.
Okay. See, that's what I was saying, bro, Cal. Because that's what I would have countered with too right away. I was like, nah, if I look at your running backs, I would want
regardless of Kiwi.
Agreed.
He's a man, they love Adams. Anthony does. I'll move on him.
Yeah.
But I mean, he is almost quarterback proof. I mean, that's hard to do.
Right.
Because he just gets his numbers in. It doesn't matter. He's
20
beast.
targets a game, man. I mean, he could hit 20 targets. That's all I'll take him. Ron said he'll take a dig straight up for an injured JJ right now. Yeah, I mean, that's basically what he did.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I didn't hate it. Warrior Law says flex start Thomas, Logan Thomas versus the Falcons. Palmer versus the Cowboys. Justice Hill versus the Titans. Or Roshan versus the Vikings.
I think it's the Roshan versus the Vikings if
Roshan
healthy plays.
And if not, I almost like Logan Thomas better.
Falcons. I think somebody put it in that he says that Falcons have really good DBs, but
yeah, and remember their offense, they run a lot, so you don't really get to run a lot of plays when you're playing against the Falcons.
Justice Hill is too hit and miss, even against the Titans.
And it's still the Gus Edwards main guy there.
And Cowboys are going to get a get-right game, so
I don't know about all that.
Yeah, we'll see.
I just don't think Palmer's going to have that great of a game. Just anyway. especially with Eckler coming back.
Yeah.
He didn't do that well the last game they played with Mike Williams out already.
Yeah, Eckler should
he
be
was
back
saved
this
by
week.
that 51-yard pass
I've
that
been
they
waiting
threw
for
at
that
the
dude
end.
to come back.
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah,
Way
me
too
too.
long.
All right, so who you going here? Roshan if he's healthy, and then to me if he's not healthy,
and then
who you going
then
with after
Thomas, then Logan Thomas, and then Palmer, then Hill.
that? I think
In
I
that order.
agree with that. Let's see. We got Quinn Lenardi. Hopefully you're still here with us. Oh no, I guess we're getting a
That
little
was
closer
recent.
now.
Yeah, we're
that
at the
was
bottom
just.
now.
Oh, you should probably. If we skipped you, just throw it down here in the news section. We had to kind of just try to get even here. So Quinn Lenardi, if you're new to us here, hit that subscribe button for us. Trying to hit 1,000. He says trade T Higgins for Ridley. It's a redraft.
If you can get Ridley, I would.
Yeah, I'd get Ridley for Higgins right now. So I think they're being drafted, fairly in the same round, basically second round, third round. So yeah, I don't mind that. He's not dealing with an injury, so there you go.
I'm out of coffee.
Even Ron said he'd probably lean Ridley, but it's close. Yeah, because they were drafted basically back to back there. Good situation. So let's see.
Listen, another option is to start Ahmed versus the Panthers. Finn's offense is so explosive he could get some good opportunities. I actually picked up save on Ahmed today, so I kind of agree with you here. Might get a shot over there.
Yeah. I'd still start Logan Thomas. He's guaranteed to be on the field.
Oh yeah, that's
not,
true though.
So again, it's like literally boom or zero. Like there's a good chance you're gonna get zero.
That was definitely boomer zero, boomer bust for sure.
Yeah, or just like nothing and bust. So there we go. So he said, yeah, what do you guys think? So that's what we think.
They're just the previous chats.
All right, so we're finally caught up. All right, so there we go. Damn, hour and a half of Q&A this time. And I think we might even skipped a couple in there. But we appreciate you guys. Had a big turnout. One of our bigger turnouts there for a while. So appreciate you guys coming out here on a Wednesday. Again, hopefully you hit that like and subscribe button for us here. What else do we really have? I'm going to kind of just run through the news and notes here, which may lead to some discussions here. And then we talked a ton of trades already. There's just a couple guys that we'll kind of do a quick buy, sell, hold on. And then we'll get out of here. So let's bring up our news and notes here. So first thing we have here, Kevin O'Connell says he does not think Justin Jefferson's hamstring injury is season ending, but otherwise he wouldn't speculate on how long his recovery will take. He was officially placed on IR today, so all they can guarantee is that he's going to miss at least 4 games. So of course there's that extra speculation coming from other sources about the Kirk Cousins potential trade, things like that. Where do you land on that?
I'm just worried that this guy it takes longer than 4 weeks to come back. Now, as far as the quarterback is concerned, that's also kind of scary because a new quarterback has to learn, get that. They got to gel with the wide receivers. You know what I mean? You don't just come in there and have a bunch of plays that you learn and the guy's speed or how where he likes to see the ball. You know what I mean? Like those kind of things where you've been working with each other. And I don't think Cousins is that bad of a quarterback.
It's like literally a top 5 like quarterback right now in fantasy.
To be like trading halfway in the season, like that's just kind of crazy. I'm not sure why they're even.
It's a business move because he's in a contract year. Like it's just purely business. Yeah. So it's
that's a dumb move. I don't know.
You're gonna commit to like another 3 years, fully guaranteed to him, or you trying to trade him and go with like a Niners blueprint, the Bengals blueprint, draft a rookie guy. And see if you can get there and put other talent around them. So, they could spend a lot of that money on the defense.
Pick like 5 first round quarterbacks. They all failed on you
and just keep missing. Yeah. So
it's
what it is.
You know what I mean? Like,
in my opinion, I wouldn't do it either.
I would not move away from that guy from his proven. Why would you? You know what I mean? It's too hard to find those quarterbacks. You guys lucked into it. Like literally lucked into it. It was your last guy on your guys' team, and literally the last pick in the NFL or whatever, right? Mr. Irrelevant, right? Or whatever he was. And he worked out, which is great. You know what I mean?
But that was after we already traded 3 firsts for Trey Lance. So
yeah, that's like
it's a risk you have to be willing to take.
That's like 1 in a million. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
it's hard to find those starting quarterbacks that are consistent and that play well in the NFL. And I would not move away from one that's already doing so to go into limbo, because next you know you could have a good quarterback, you could have not have, and then now you're setting your team into a spiral. So, anyways, who cares? So let's move it on.
There we go. All right. So next item here, Falcons. It is just minor. Falcons agreed to a trade for Rams wide receiver Van Jefferson.
Yeah,
It's just a 2025 pick swap, a 6th and 7th rounders. They're just hoping, it's a low risk, high reward deal for them to bring another wide receiver in there. They got, Kadero Hodge, Matt Collins behind, of course, Drake London. And Kyle Pitts and Giannu. So we'll see if that amounts to anything.
I don't.
Mike
think so.
McDaniel. Oh yeah, Mike McDaniel confirms Devon Achane will go on IR. They said it wasn't a black and white decision where it was just obvious. He said it was something that Chris Greer and I knew was just the best thing for the team. So they got that done. Colts head coach Shane Steichen says asked if he expects Anthony Richardson to play again this season. He said, "We'll see." So that's, a little troublesome.
That's scary.
Yeah, he said he had the same response when asked if surgery was a possibility. We'll see. He adds that they're still evaluating him. He would only confirm that he would be out the 4 weeks, which is the minimum, of course, with the IR. But I've heard other things, as far as up to 8 weeks being out. So
Who's this
again,
guy? The next Belichick or what?
yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens there, right?
Right.
We'll see. We'll see. Sounds like me over there.
Right.
So there you go. So that's your AR news. Obviously, you'll be without him for a while.
Yeah.
8 weeks from now, we'll basically be already in the fantasy playoffs. So his fantasy season, unfortunately, is over. And it was off to a great start, but is what it is. Due to the Cardinals placing running back James Conner on IR, and we talked about it earlier. Keontae Ingram, they have listed as a starter right now as the RB1 with Amari DeMarcado at his backup. So we've kind of talked about it here already. We've let you know how we feel about Marcado versus Ingram. Obviously, Ingram dealing with that neck injury. So we'll see. Like Steichen says. Saints quarterback Derek Carr, he's dealing with that AC joint shoulder issue in his right throwing shoulder. He actually practiced in full today. Looked a lot better this weekend. They won, 34-0. So hopefully, we'll see Olave bounce back here soon. We had Browns coach Kevin Stefanski say that Deshaun Watson continues to be day-to-day. We mentioned it earlier, but PJ Walker would be and has been elevated to be the starter and is listed as the QB2 over DTR, who got the start last week. Watson was the late scratch. So just keep an eye on that. We'll see what happens. And probably not a great start anyway going up against this San Francisco defense, especially if he's banged up. So they may hold him out one more week. Dable said they'll likely make a decision on Daniel Jones by the end of the week. They said he'll have a chance, of course, dealing with that neck issue, similar to the one he had in 2021. They'll see where he's at. He did not practice today, but is being considered day-to-day. Steichen says the Colts running back Jonathan Taylor will be ramped up this week in practice. He expects the running back to get more than 10 snaps this Sunday in Jacksonville. So we kind of talked about that earlier as well. Chargers running back Austin Eckler, dealing with that high ankle sprain, says he was a full participant in practice yesterday. They don't play it until Monday, but per the podcast with him and Matt Harmon, I don't know if you guys checked that out. But he says he's 99% sure he's going to be playing this Monday. So get him back in your lineups. Let's go.
I've already done it.
Yeah,
I'm ready.
So I'm happy to hopefully get him back here. And after that blown up week 1, we've missed him since. So he's looking good to go. We've talked about it.
Eckler back. Who else needed to come back? Anybody else?
Saquon Barkley, Giants running back Saquon Barkley, also dealing with that high ankle sprain. He was limited in practice today. They're hoping he can go this Sunday, but it will probably be a game time decision unless we see him basically start practicing in full Thursday and Friday. Bears running back Roshan Johnson, who we've discussed a lot today too, dealing with that concussion. He was a DNP today, so that's not great. But again, progressing through the concussion protocol. We'll keep an eye on it this week. And obviously, Khalil Herbert dealing with that high ankle sprain. He did not practice. Potentially could go on IR here soon as well too. We have the Panthers running back Miles Sanders that I mentioned earlier, not only dealing with the groin issue that he's had since camp, heading into week 1, also picked up a shoulder injury this weekend. He did not practice today, and we'll just have to keep our eye out here Thursday and Friday to see where he's at. And as you guys have seen, I'm not really quite rushing to throw him in the lineups right now anyway. So again, just something to keep your eye on. Titans running back Derrick Henry got a DNP today, most likely a vet rest day. Wide receiver DeAndre Hopkins also dealing with that ankle. He's been playing, but he didn't practice. Most likely a vet day for him as well, because he has been playing on it, so he should be good to go. You have the Lions running back Jahmyr Gibbs. He did not practice today. He showed up late with that hamstring injury last week. Didn't play, so we'll keep an eye on that as the week progresses. A little bit of good news here. Amon-Ra, who was a late scratch, was listed as a limited participant. Came back to practice today.
Yeah, he'll be back. He's gonna be good.
Yeah, so hopefully. I thought I was going to go last week, but ended up getting that late scratch, so we'll see how it goes. After all this talk with Jordan Addison, he popped up on the injury report dealing with an ankle injury. He was considered limited today, so that's, of course, very important to keep your eye on. If for some reason he can't go, then probably fire up KJ Osborne in that case. He's going to be the only one that has any rapport.
Exactly.
Yeah, he's going to be the only one that has rapport with Cousins. So definitely
get that one good week out of him.
Absolutely. You have Texans wide receiver Tank Dell. I did mention this earlier. Still dealing with the concussion. He got a DNP. Did not practice today. Not expected to play. They released that today, saying he's still in the protocol. He's improving and recovering, but is not expected to play this week. And they're saying that already on Wednesday. That's not something you want to hear.
Yeah, he's not playing that for sure.
So yeah, they're already expecting him to be out.
Progressing. So most of the time they say they're progressing through the concussion protocol. This
Yeah,
is like
they just said he's still
you're not
recovering.
progressing.
Yeah, he's still recovering. So meaning he probably still has symptoms, things like that. Obviously, we're not there,
He's probably
but
thinking,
that
"I'm
doesn't sound
Batman."
good. Yeah, so even more so, I might fire up Nico Collins here
Nico Collins, right?
if Tank's going to be out. You have Bengals wide receiver T. Higgins dealing with those fractured ribs. He was limited in practice today, so just keep your eyes on it. They do have a bye week coming up in week 7, so there's a chance they may just sit him one more week, give him that extra week or 2 technically to heal up and come back week 8. So again, that's probably why he's been talked a lot here on our buy sell trade show. Chris Olave, he popped up on the injury report suffering a toe injury in pregame warmups on Sunday. So it could have been what led to his kind of down game, but he practiced in a limited fashion today. So definitely something to keep your eye on, but hopefully should play. He was able to get through it. Bucks wide receiver Mike Evans dealing with his hamstring. They had a bye week last week and came back and didn't practice on the first day back. So that's not a good sign coming off a bye week. So definitely want to keep your eyes on it. And that's why I mentioned earlier, if I can get Godwin in my lineup, if Evans doesn't play, he should have a good week.
Yeah, plenty of touches.
Yeah. Jags wide receiver Zay Jones, who just came back after missing 2 weeks dealing with a knee injury, either re-injured the knee or injured the other knee. Couldn't get clarification on that, but he didn't practice today. Again, just something to keep an eye on. He came back and saw like 5 targets, caught the touchdown immediately. He has the rapport with Trevor Lawrence. Trevor Lawrence trusts him. And, when he's out there, it limits Christian Kirk's usage as well, unless they're going to go, 3 wide. So, again, for the Christian Kirk owners, you want Zay to sit, but for the Trevor Lawrence owners, you want Zay in there. So, so that's going to be something to follow. Steelers wide receiver Deontay Johnson, who's been on the IR. He's ready to come off next week. He says he plans to play against the Rams when he's eligible. So if he's out there on your waiver wires, or maybe you have an opportunity to trade for him here, Pickett's still kind of banged up a little bit with his knee, but looks like he'll play. Just kind of worry about the accuracy, but Pickens had a nice big game, but those targets are going to go to Johnson when he comes back. So
Yeah.
definitely someone you want to look for. You can maybe beat the wire on. Giants tight end Darren Waller. He's dealing with a groin issue. The plan for him was not to practice today, so that he could practice tomorrow and Friday and be ready to go for Sunday. So sounds positive, but of course you rather not be dealing with the groin issue. And then you have both Bills tight ends, Dalton Kincaid. He's dealing with a concussion, and Dawson Knox is dealing with the wrist. They were both limited in practice today. And then Stefanski said David Njoku is not ready to participate in practice as he deals with his burns. So if you guys remember, he had that fire pit issue in his backyard, kind of got those serious burns, was able to play through that game, had the bye week, but now still dealing with that. So we all know as that skin tends to heal, it's probably real sensitive. So no need to have him in full contact practice. Just keep letting him heal up so that hopefully he's ready to go. But definitely something you want to be prepared for. So that will round out our news and notes. I thought I tried to keep it shorter, but it still kind of went a little long. Only 10 minutes though. I've gone longer. Were you keeping an eye on the chat there? Was there any questions that we should get to?
26 new comments coming in here.
Man, you guys are popping over here.
Yeah, there was a couple here that I think we could move on to. Ridley or Olave here for rest of the season.
I'll bring that up. So what was the question? Bring it up again.
Ridley or Olave rest of the season.
I probably want Ridley. I do like the fact that Olave is basically playing in all dome games, though, or West Coast.
I like Olave. I'm on the Olave side of that.
There you go.
He'll get
I'll take my chances with Ridley.
It's a quarterback situation right now, but once he's straightened out, everything will be fine over there.
All right, so we'll move on. What's the next one you got?
Well, shit, I was trying to go backwards. I'm not sure how far back. Oh, yeah, that's where it was at.
Start Cowboys defense versus the Chargers or Ravens versus the Titans?
Cowboys versus Chargers.
I hate defensive questions. I picked Washington, who got me like negative points. I keep picking the defenses that give you negative points. So I want to lean Ravens here, which means you probably should go Cowboys, is how I'll answer that.
Ray Gamer went the Ravens. Ronald went Cowboys, then Ravens, then Chargers.
So there you go.
There's Chris comes up with I traded Calvin Ridley and Garrett Wilson for Diggs. PPR thoughts. Oh,
what do you think?
He gave us some stuff there.
I like that trade.
I like Diggs. Diggs is
I like that trade a lot.
Top wide receiver. Done. That's what you had to do to get Diggs. So
that's not even much.
Well,
that's not a steal, but I give that an A+.
Yeah.
And you know me, I don't give out A+s very often. That's an A+ trade right there.
You like it? You like it? So there you go. That's a thumbs up for both of us. Either way, I liked it.
Even Ron likes it. 3 thumbs up. So there we go. He's letting us know who other wide receivers are. That doesn't even matter. Doesn't even matter. You came up.
Yeah, it doesn't even matter. Yeah, you came
up. So we have Ray asking Metcalf, Olave, and Myers all suddenly are hurt. Oh, he didn't ask. He's just saying the injury curse continues.
Yeah, that happens.
So there we go.
Where do you stand on the Josh Downs type? Let's see, get garbage dump offs, but no TD potential. I think he's a best ball type of guy. He's more in the deeper league type of dude. I would not be starting him. Yeah,
I mean, he's worth the pickup if you have a spot, just to kind of see what he does with Minshew. It's just worth seeing. And
yeah, he seems to have a lot of like rapport with Minshew, but
yeah, because they've probably been working together.
Yeah, on the number
Pittman,
twos,
now
right?
it's Pierce, with the twos. So yeah, so I'm sure he has some rapport, which is why you've seen him get a little bump. And yeah, I mean, I don't think there's a touchdown potential, but most likely if they get close, they're not going to risk Minshew throwing it in the red zone or like in the green zone, within the 5, within the 10. It's probably going to be JT or Moss, most likely there, or something to Pittman being the guy who's 6'4". So I kind of agree with you. Probably not. If he's going to score, he's going to score from way out. Not way out, but like 20, 30 yards.
Dynasty Pylon getting you straight. defense is where it's at. So, excuse Anthony right now. We've been both dealing with some illnesses, so we got to mute everyone so I had a cough here. So.
Yeah. See, I muted mine, so
Well, I've
you
been
should do
muting mine on occasion.
you're on it, maybe. Oh, okay, I guess I don't hear the ones you mute. Okay, there you go. Well done. Well done. All right, so where are we at?
But yeah, I was telling you, Dynasty Pylon here in the house. He's telling you defense is where it's at.
Oh, defense is where it at. Oh yeah, because I was like, I don't do defenses. I'd much rather play IDP
Eagles
than
over
team
Ravens
defenses.
this week, and yeah, I would start the Eagles over the Ravens also.
Yeah, for sure.
He's undefeated versus just historically. Jeff Wilson didn't even do good against the Broncos. 0 TDs, 1 INT under 200 yards, and Hogg going nowhere with that D line. Yeah, he might not, but he might get some touches. Some
Only takes him to bust one. Like, that's all.
That's all it takes. One. Yeah,
and he has that ability. So, let's see. Now we're talking about kickers, Ray. We're talking about kickers. Says he also picked up Tekken's kicker. He's on the number 2 kicker in fantasy right now, tied with Aubrey. So he'll keep Moody for now. But playing the Texans guy has 15 field goals this year. So there you go. Only behind Jake Elliott. That's who I drafted a lot of, is Elliott. So I feel good. Yeah, Ron's saying they'll give up passes. And yeah, Brees can definitely catch the ball. So out of the backfield. All right. So did we miss anything there?
No, I think that's
Are we good?
Caught up now.
All right. So we might actually get out of here under 2 hours. I was really trying to keep it to like an hour and a half to an hour, but
yeah, we're
stretching. I don't mind. Hey, we got a ton of people in the beginning of the show, so that was awesome. We'll take that all day.
What to do if I got Cup and Puka, other wide receivers are DK, Nico, Michael Thomas, and Palmer, 12 team PPR. So I would say
that's hilarious because I have that same.
We were just talking about firing up Nico. DK is he hurt or he's fine, right? He had a pretty good game last week.
Yeah, he's fine. Coming off a bye week. Remember, he got the rib injury. He got just blasted in the ribs. Into the bye week. He should be fine.
Should be fine. So
I haven't heard anything like T. Higgins where it's fractured. So that dude's built
basically,
like a tank,
you want to trade Puka is what you want to do. I wouldn't want to keep starting both Cup and Puka, and you got decent other wide receivers in DK and Nico, and even just backups and Michael Thomas and Palmer just to fill in, right? So you want to move on Puka and see if you could get something better.
I disagree completely. You want to keep him? I have Cup and Puka in a league also with Nico. I don't have DK though. I'd love to have DK with them. But I'm personally starting Cup and Puka together, like I mentioned. Instead of having DK, I have Amari. So we probably drafted around the same spot if we have all these same guys. So we probably drafted in the same spot. I just happened to go Amari instead of DK because I have so much other DK exposure. I wanted to get Amari on this team. But yeah, for me, I'm kind of keeping them together. I want to see a couple weeks here because you never know. Cup could re-aggravate this thing. Again, he's already re-aggravated once, which cost him, to go on to IR after missing the entire month of August. Remember, he first pulled a hamstring, I believe, the first week of August, like August 3rd, August 4th. Came back almost 4 weeks later, towards the end of August, and then basically re-injured it like 2 weeks or 2 days after coming back into practice. That cost him another month, basically.
So basically, what you're saying is keep the handcuff.
I'm giving both of them, and I'm starting both of them.
Okay.
So
let's short it up.
I had to give the reasons why, because it's a very, very not sensitive, but like I think you need some reasoning behind it. So that's my thought process behind it. Maybe 2-3 weeks from now. Yeah, maybe 2-3 weeks from now, if they're both still producing, then and Cup looks back to full health, so to speak, and we're kind of past he's been playing games, been practicing, and up to full speed. Then maybe I would consider trading one of them. If they're still, producing about the same level. So, but there's always the chance that Puka fades away, and he has pretty much his values really high right now. So if you are going to move him, you definitely could. Again, if Cup gets hurt, we've seen what he could do. So I like having those kind of guys on my team, and prefer not putting him on somebody else's team. Is my whole thing.
Yeah.
So anyway, all right. So what else we got here? Even Ron saying play him together. He's fine. Ray said Waddle was a great buy low for his team. Absolutely. I have him as my keeper. I got him in like the 7th round or something this year, so that was great. Ron says he loves him some Waddle. And Ray Gamer saying
this team.
Jalen Hurts, Waddle moved up to wide receiver 1 now. Metcalf, Barkley, Montgomery, Hawkinson, Olave in the flex for now with Fairbairn and the Eagles D. That's his lineup with the 3-2 record. So
that's what I said. He's flexing this team.
Yeah, very nice. Not bad. Not bad at all. You're still missing like a true wide receiver 1.
Yeah.
But it's not bad. I mean, Olave could be that dude. All right, so there we go. Even Ron said good team. All right, so there we are. All right, so we'll just quickly get through this and get out of here. Yeah, what's that?
Buy, sell, holds now?
Yeah, so buy, sell, holds. So we'll switch it on over. We'll go by position here. A lot of the names are some of the names that we had last week, but I did add a couple new ones for this week here. So I'll get your thought on those, and then I'll throw a couple of the names that we went through last week just to see if your position has changed on them at all. So let's start with Patrick Mahomes. New to the list here. He's currently sitting on the QB 6. Hasn't had that great of games, obviously dealing with this mediocre receiving core. Do you think he's still a top 3 producing quarterback? Number 1, and then number 2, are you buying, selling, or holding?
I think he's still going to be top 3. He's Mahomes, man. They'll figure it out. You know what I mean? Like, it's still early in the season enough that they'll get straightened. And he just, I mean, this rushing, he just has a lot of talent. So I would not move away from that guy. I'd be buying if I could.
All right, so buying him if you can, and definitely holding him if you have him. All right, so Anthony Richardson, obviously dealing with this, could potentially be out for 8 weeks.
Yeah,
on the IR. We know what his upside is. Should he come back and be healthy? If you can buy, sell, or hold this guy, what are you doing?
I would just hold him in IR. I don't think you could sell him. Who's going to buy a hurt guy?
Some people like doing stuff like that. Taking a chance.
But it's early. It's
like, would you sell him for anything you can get for him? Like, throw in piece to tilt something if someone else was willing to hold him. I feel
that the only thing you're gonna get is a waiver wire guy. They should have got yourself. So,
all right.
Like, I just don't see anybody paying for a hurt wide receiver, although he does have a potential
running back or quarterback. But yeah,
quarterback. But I just don't see that the quarterbacks are hard to trade as it is. You know what I mean?
Right.
Let alone an injured one.
Right. And Ron says buy AR in Dynasty for sure. Yeah, if you can get him in Dynasty, someone's worried.
Yeah, that's different. In Dynasty, I would definitely pick him up there for sure.
Yeah. Let's see. Jared Goff, buy, sell, or hold?
I'd be
currently sitting as the QB 9.
I'd be selling
in 6 point per passing touchdown. Sell?
Yeah.
Who are you selling him for?
Try to sell high. Man, who could you get for him?
Would you want Lamar for Goff?
See, I don't know if I could get. I don't think you'd be trading quarterbacks. Like, I would be looking for a wide receiver or running back if I was selling him. Like, to somebody who needs a quarterback, because I think he'd be your backup quarterback or who's got picked up at some point. And maybe you could pick up some Joe Mixon or Alexander Madison or I don't know, somebody, Jerome Ford that hasn't been playing. He's got a tough matchups and things like that. Maybe you could shoot for some guys like that.
I like that take. I like that. Good idea. Dak Prescott, what are you doing with him? Buy, sell, or hold?
Well, I don't think you could sell him, and I'd be holding him. He's had a off game. He'll be better. But I don't think you could. I really don't think you could sell him for much, and I don't think you're going to get much. So I'd rather just hold. Just hold and start him if you need him. But if you got other guys, try to put them in there. But I mean, it's kind of hit or miss right now. He has a decent game, then an off game, a decent game and an off game. So we'll see how it goes going forward.
If somebody had Sam Howell on their bench, would you offer them Dak Prescott for Sam Howell? Currently sitting at the QB 14. Dak
And see,
Prescott is the QB
that's what I'm
21.
saying. Now you could have just picked up a waiver wire somehow or something. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I just don't see why
Are you
you
definitely
wouldn't.
taking CJ Stroud over Dak at this point?
I would probably do that. Yeah.
Would you rather have Jordan Love or Dak Prescott?
No. Dak.
Dak,
And I
Gino
liked
or
Jordan
Dak?
Love for a little while, but Jordan looks lost now. Jordan looks,
Came back down to earth.
yeah, that dude's.
Geno Smith or Dak?
And I was hoping. Let me finish off with Jordan because
Okay,
we
yeah.
mentioned it. Because I was thinking Christian Watson was going to help him out a lot, and it seems like Dobbs has fallen off, and it just Watson. I mean, he almost had a 2 touchdown game, but they literally intercepted him in the end zone. But Jordan just maybe it was just an off game, but I think he's in the same boat as Dak,
Okay,
and around the same area.
cool. I don't know exactly what I said before. Oh, Geno Smith or Dak?
Geno Smith or Dak.
They're literally back to back.
Back
QB
to back,
21,
yeah.
QB
They're so
22.
close, it's like the same dude, really, you know what I mean? Good games, bad games, right around the same area.
All
He
right.
wanted more from Geno
Ron
this year.
saying Green
You
Bay. That was just
expected a
one
lot
bad
more
game.
from Geno, but it didn't work out. Like, I told you I was down on Geno this year. You remember I was telling you about that? You're like, "No, Geno's good, Geno's good." I was like, "Good luck with that."
Yeah, I mean, hey, it's my QB2 in Superflex. I could have done worse. Could have
Yeah.
had Mac Jones.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. So Lamar Jackson, buy, sell, or hold?
I think you should sell if you can.
Currently sitting as the QB12, so he's on that fringe QB1.
Yeah, because he still has value, he still has a name, but, I would sell him if I could, because I don't think it's gonna go. It's
Would you
on a
rather?
down. It's on the when they have those little arrows, he's on the down arrow, not on the up arrow. You know what I mean?
Right. So would you rather have Lamar Jackson or CJ Stroud?
That's Stroud, man. Stroud's
Would you
coming
rather
up.
have
He's got
Brock
the up
Purdy?
arrow, right?
Yeah, Brock Purdy
See,
or Lamar
Brock
Jackson?
Purdy. You made me say it. You breath.
Dang. Why are you so down on Lamar?
Just the team's just not gelling well. There's just not enough going on over there. I mean, let me look at the numbers here again. But it's just not. I've had him. I have him on one of my teams, and it's just not what he's been producing, and he hasn't been what he had been even after he got signed. I'm like, what? What? Where's all these? Rushing and passing
The
touchdowns that
rushing's
you
there.
get?
47 attempts,
40
265 yards. It's second most attempts by a quarterback so far, next to who has the most rushing attempts by a quarterback? You know that.
Like Justin Fields.
No, he's third.
Oh, he's third.
Yeah, with 39.
Oh, then it's got to be Hurts.
There you go.
Show,
He has
show.
50. He's
Yeah,
only 3 off. He's only
but I
3 off.
mean, he's got what last two couple games: 22 attempts, 31, 19, 38. 202, 186, 236. One game with 2 touchdowns, one game with 2 games
Yeah.
with 0 touchdowns in that. But he got the rushing touchdowns. That's where they come in on some of those games. It's just rough, man. It's just
Yeah.
it's not what it used to be.
All
I
the
don't know.
quarterbacks ahead of him have like 8 or more passing touchdowns, except for Jalen Hurts, who only has 6, but he has 4 rushing
Rushing
touchdowns.
touchdowns, right? So it's like
So yeah, it's kind of right there. Like if he gets the passing back, gets his receivers back healthy, Bateman stops dropping touchdowns in the end zone, maybe he has an opportunity there. So it could be a good buy low candidate if you do want to, move someone for him. Last one, Jared Goff or Lamar Jackson?
let's say Lamar.
That's where you draw the line. All right.
Yeah, I'm not gonna go with
He
Jared
said
Goff.
that's all right. Shit. I'll draw the line.
Yeah.
Well said. All right. So has your stance changed? Those are all the new guys. Now I'm going to mention just a couple guys. Joe Burrow. Has your stance changed on Joe Burrow at all? I probably should have marked what you said last time, but buy, sell, or hold Joe Burrow after his big game here. Are you selling him high? Thinking
I
that
think you're buying or holding at least now. It's think of that window closed on him a little bit. You know what I mean?
to
'Cause
buy
he's
low
getting
on him, right?
to buy low on him. I think he's got. Well, after that game, people are feeling more comfortable, and they're like, "Okay, he's back." You know what I mean? Like, let's see some
Okay.
things
Or
going.
maybe they're thinking, no, I need to sell him high. So
It's a lot high
would
right now,
you,
right?
or not sell high, but just sell him,
Really
like
sell.
his value is kind of like back.
Yeah.
Again, would you trade like Burrow for Lamar Jackson? or Lamar Jackson for Burrow, so to speak?
I think you're
Burrow or
staying around the
Jackson?
same range right now,
All
right? But I
right.
mean, Burrow was
If somebody offered you CJ Stroud for Joe Burrow, are you taking it or are you sticking with Burrow?
nah. I'm sticking with Burrow at this point.
What about Trevor Lawrence, who was drafted after Joe Burrow?
Oh no,
Trevor
I'm
or
sticking with
Burrow?
Burrow for sure. Lawrence is just
Okay.
mediocre at best right now.
What about Justin Fields or Burrow?
See, Fields, I take.
Okay.
You
All
have a
right.
lot of
I had to
upside with
find one.
Fields. Yeah, you got a lot of upside with Fields.
There you go. All right. So there we go. We'll move on. I
And
pretty much know how
both
you
of them,
feel
you
about
kind of got
CJ
rid of.
Stroud.
Both of them kind of got rid of out of that funky area. You know what I mean? And where they were both in just some funk. And I think Fields is putting it together over there, as well as Joe Burrow finally getting somewhat healthy. And and we know what he can do, and he's got the weapons, so got to stick with it.
There you go. So nobody else really here. Kirk Cousins, you buying, selling, or holding right now with the loss of JJ?
Uh, I would sell if you could. I mean, the team's trying to sell him, so I mean, why wouldn't you?
Well said. Well said.
Right?
On that note, we'll move on. All right, so let's go to our running backs here. Running back, buy, sell, hold. A couple new names I added to the list this week. Devon Achane. Well, he wasn't new, but now he's injured. So buy, sell, or hold Devon Achane right now. Is he someone you're going to target? The Achane owner, if you have him, are you looking to kind of
I
move him and
think you
see what
could
you can
target
get?
for him, and you could buy him if you have
Okay.
the capacity to hold on to him, especially if you have the IR spot and you have the depth, because he'll be back and he could be a league winner for you. That guy doesn't need many touches and is very explosive and gets those touchdowns. So I would try to get him if I could. I'd be buying.
All right. James Conner, similar situation on IR, going to miss at least 4 weeks dealing with that knee issue. Buy, sell, or hold James Conner, new to the
See, in
list
his
this week.
case, I'd hold. I'm not sure so many people are going to go after James Conner. It's not the same flashy name as Achan. You know what I mean?
Right.
But Connor
You
was
kind of
getting
had to
all
be
the
a Connor guy anyway, right? Like
yeah,
there's
yeah,
like you have to be part of the Connor crowd to even consider having him on your roster, right?
exactly. And he was doing good. I mean,
Right.
he was doing what we thought he was going to be, a bell cow for the team with no other competition whatsoever.
No other
But
options
no,
whatsoever.
really, yeah. But now Deontay Ingram's coming back. They got this new guy over here, uh, Jamarcus,
DeMarcado. Yeah.
Marcado. And what are you going to do now? You know what I mean? Maybe he comes back to
Oh, he
a
comes back to his full
running back
workload
by
the
committee
moment he's ready.
committee. Or you're just going to back full force, right?
Yeah, he's back to full force.
But I'm not sure if you could sell him. Like, I don't think people are buying James Conner. You know what I mean? Like, he didn't have the name before that, and I don't think he has the selling
These are
power
those kind of
because of
guys
that.
that these 4-0 or 4-1, 5-1, maybe even a 3-2 team that wants to build out some potential depth later. The only good thing about it, one of your running backs being on IR, is he can't get hurt again. Like he can't get hurt again. So that's 4 weeks that like once this guy comes back, you
Yeah,
at least have a guy on that week 5.
that should be
So
healthy, right?
yeah, exactly. Had to just throw that in there.
Right?
Brees Hall, buy, sell, or trade,
We're
or buy,
we're
sell, or hold Brees Hall.
buying Brees Hall. I mean, the
You're trying
guy's
to go
on
get
the
him
up
if
and
you
up.
can, right?
Yeah, at this point, we've seen what he can do. We know he's the real deal, even with the bad team. You need to go get him.
There you go. Joe Mixon, buy, sell, or hold Joe Mixon.
I would sell him. He's not doing much, and
All right,
it's
not
just like
someone
a
you're looking to get.
trotting. What are you gonna get 2 yards out of that guy or something like that? No touchdowns.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he
it's
got
rough.
stuffed so many times by
Yeah,
Arizona last week.
yeah,
It's ridiculous.
yeah.
Um,
I was never
I,
high on him
I'm still
anyway.
trying to
So
buy him low if I can, but I don't think he holds much value. But there's a market out there. Aaron Jones,
that's a buy for
obviously.
sure.
Okay.
Especially he's been
Only played one
hurt.
game this year, came back, played kind of like a half a game, wrapped up his leg, missed the very next game, late scratch. They're heading into a bye week this week right now, so the window is potentially still open. Aaron Jones, you're looking to buy. Are you like
Yeah.
heat seeking? Are you trying to go find the Aaron Jones owner to see if you can make an offer? Like, are you seeking it out, or is it just kind of, you'll look at it? No, let me just have Aaron
Well,
Jones part of
I
this
think it depends
package.
on who has him, right? I think if the team's um, in the top half of your league, then you're not going to get him out of his hands because he doesn't need him. He's probably been holding it and waiting for him to come back as well.
Obviously, doing fine if
Yeah,
he's
doing fine.
so
Exactly. Now, if he's on the bottom half of your league where they're struggling and whatnot, that's the one they could target and then be able to actually get a trade done where you're not overpaying for him and he comes back for you, good healthy guy that's going to produce because really what do you have over there at Green Bay? It's much needed by Jordan Love to get that pressure off of him to be able to even just dump off passes to Aaron Jones. So, um,
He is that
definitely,
offense right now.
yeah, exactly. So we were waiting for him to come back and really just carry the load over there in Green Bay. So I would
Open
definitely
up
be buying.
Watson hopefully once he's
Yeah,
back too,
exactly. It just
and
it just
Dobbs.
it, it does
Yeah,
everything basically over there. You know what I mean? Like they
right.
so need him. And
Before we
just
before we
AJ
move
Dillon,
on,
our
just real
friend on the
quick.
podcast, he didn't get his
Oh yeah,
touchdown last week, but
good call.
he's just not been putting it. He just hasn't been pulling the weight enough to
Right.
replace Aaron Jones. He's just he's not Aaron
Hopefully
Jones.
people dropped him. He had that late Aaron Jones scratch. Throw him in your IR. Go pick up
Right?
Dylan just because he was playing on Monday as the only chance he had, and he at least fell in the end zone for you. So that was good. Shout out to our boy.
Holy
Real quick here,
mackerel! 31.
just real quick, Javonte Williams for Tajay. No, I'm keeping Williams. Just real quick. Nice mute.
Tajay. Yeah, no, I'd keep Williams too for sure.
There you
He's
go.
the number one. Why would you go for a number two?
Yeah, that's why I just had to answer that real quick. So, so there we go. All right. So David Montgomery.
No, we're just looking at it has 30 because I'm not on the comments window, so it's 31 since the last look at it.
Jeez.
You guys are on fire tonight.
Let's
And we're
go.
down a couple. So
That's why we're at 2 hours right now.
yeah, we got to finish this off.
All right.
Where we at?
David
D-Mon?
Montgomery, buy, sell, or hold.
I'm holding that guy, and people are trying to buy him from me. I've already traded him by accident to you, so now it's a hold. Don't let go. The guy's
You're
on
traumatized
fire.
now.
The teams are dude,
You can't just let me get one. You've gotten over on me so
got
many
one.
trades
You
in
got
20
one.
years,
Fine.
man.
Let it
You,
go.
you,
I don't
you
even
can
wanna
let me
talk
have
about it.
one. Yeah, we
Got
can have
one.
one. As the Dave Montgomery owner, if you have someone trying to come buy him right now, I mean, are you selling if you have a chance to sell him high? Like, would you?
No,
Who you
that's just
taking, David
ridiculous.
Montgomery
You
or
literally
Brees
just said
Hall?
the coach is going to give him 20 touches. I'm not moving on that dude whatsoever. You
He's
can
not
pry
even
him out of
selling.
my dead cold hands. I'm
Like
going down
literally,
with
like
the team on
unless
that
you're
guy.
coming with CMC, I don't want to hear it, right?
Exactly. Yeah. That's basically the only guy, really. Who else you did
So
out
it
there,
goes
right?
CMC and then David Montgomery and
Yeah.
Frank's rankings right now
Yeah.
because of the
Matter of
trade to
fact, I
me.
just need
Like
to
that's
set
why.
up the rankings. Oh, shoot, I got to get those done. Now you mentioned it.
Oh man. And so yeah, so that's where I'm at. With that, Josh Jacobs, did his performance change your mind at all at him? Do you have him as a buy, sell, or hold? Quickly on him.
Just hold.
All right. Javonte Williams, who's been mentioned a lot here. Are you looking to buy, sell, or hold Javonte Williams?
I don't think you could sell him. I don't think people are going to be buying.
He was mentioned in several trades here today. So
yeah,
he's moving.
He's a mover. He's a mover, but I don't think they're like he's a piece of part of a trade. Do you know
So
what I mean?
you're willing to trade him and you're willing to accept him, like you see the potential value.
Yeah, but you know what I mean. He wasn't being like the lone guy that it was being offered.
You're not heat seeking him, right?
Yeah,
You're not going
exactly.
after him like Montgomery or Aaron Jones, right?
Exactly. You're not going to go like that. You want him to be healthier and get the job done. And it's Denver. I mean, you know what I mean? Like, are they going to continue to run the ball once they get behind? Because they're
Right.
going to be behind every game. So how many touches are he going to really get?
Right. Raheem Mostert with the A-chain injury. You looking to sell him if you can?
Oh hell no! I got Mustard. I'm starting that dude. No, he's
All
a
right.
hold. He's a hold.
He's a hold. All right.
Yeah, for sure.
Ramondre Stevenson.
You could get rid of him after A-Chain comes back at that point. But right now he's your plug and play number one starter over there right now. I mean, he started the season. He was on fire to start the season. Somehow A-Chain gets a couple touches and blows him out of the water.
Well, that's all
Next
he's
you know,
needed.
Yeah, exactly. And next he's the number one back for a couple weeks, and then goes boom, gets a flat tire, and now it's back to Mustard. You know what I mean? So
Right.
you can't skip a beat with Mustard. He's been putting up solid numbers this whole season, so I would not move away from him.
There you go. Ramondre Stevenson. Buy, sell, or hold.
Sell him.
Sell him if you can, huh? For almost anything, right? Anything of value.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah, whatever you can get.
He has it. If you are interested in buying, he has an interesting schedule coming up. Gets the Raiders here week 6. Tougher matchup against Buffalo week 7, but they've had a lot of injuries. Matt Milano's done for the year. They're not as brutal as they used to be. Then they get Miami, Washington, Indy, bye week in week 11. But then when they come back from the bye, they have a really good schedule kind of leading into the playoffs here. New York Giants, Los Angeles Chargers, Pittsburgh, and then his playoff schedule is Kansas City, at Denver, and then it gets Buffalo week 17. But that Kansas City and Denver
Yeah, that's
could
nice.
potentially be good there for your playoffs. So
And then ruin it for you when you get to the one.
in the championship. Yeah, it'd be a little
Like,
tough. At least you'll see what he does against Buffalo once already.
right?
So you'll be able to know. So let's see who else we have here. Jahmyr Gibbs ended up not even playing this week. Showed up on the injury report dealing with the hamstring. Buy, sell, or hold Jahmyr Gibbs.
I would sell him. I don't see how much you could get for him because he's only a handcuff at this point now.
And
he wasn't
really
he's
didn't
good
even produce when Demont was out either. So
So that's the sad part. Is like
he's almost in that.
he didn't take his opportunity when he had it there. Had he produced
Right.
something when Demont was out, then I would have been, hey, you got to hold this guy, or you got to,
Right.
grab this, go for this guy. Now it's like a sell and hold, I guess. I don't think you could sell for very much.
There you go. What about Brian Robinson? Coming off a bye week,
Yeah,
hasn't played really. Kind of out of sight, out of mind.
yeah. I would buy
Sitting
him.
at the, I think he's still sitting as a top 5 running back right now.
Yeah. He's been having a solid season. I think you were calling him early, and you liked him, and
RB8.
he's been doing way more than his counterpart. The hell's his name over there?
Antonio Gibson.
And he's just garbage now. And what is it with that coach?
Rivera.
Ron Rivera always like, oh yeah, we can see Gibson.
He's going to be the
Remember
new
in the beginning of the
CMC.
season, he's going to be like catching the ball. He's going to be doing this,
Lined up in the
hyping up
slot.
Gibson.
Well, technically, he wasn't wrong because his last game that they played against the Chicago did not
Yeah.
record a single carry, but had like 8 targets and like 6 or
targets.
7 catches or something like that.
Well,
So
that dude's not a wide receiver; he's a running back, so use him as such. I mean, I'm just saying, like, and what? Yeah, fire up Robinson.
6 targets,
Go
4
get some
catches for
Robinson if you
64
can.
yards.
He's been producing very well, so I would definitely try to go get Robinson.
There you go. All right, so that'll do it for running backs. Let's get on to wide receivers here. Wide receivers: Justin Jefferson. Buy, sell, or hold Justin Jefferson.
I'd be buying if you can, right? If you got the depth and can put him in an IR and wait for him to come back,
And more importantly,
your
you're
when he
top
comes back.
3, top 4 in your league, right? Winning record.
Yeah. If you're in the top, then you could hold him, and then you could buy him, and you'd be fine. If you're at the bottom and you need to move him, well, you got to sell him low and see what you can get to improve your team now. Because what does it matter if you hold them and you're still at the bottom and you're not going to make the playoffs?
Right. Right.
So it all depends on your record, I think, at that one, right?
Yeah, definitely. League and team specific there. My whole thing is it's hard to sell them. Like even if I was like in the bottom half of the league, like how is my team going to actually be better without Justin Jefferson? Like if I can just, if I could just piece some guys together, play the waiver wire game hardcore, maybe make a couple other trades, and try to get my team in a position to where JJ comes back and now you're hitting all, firing on all cylinders. I'd rather try to travel that road versus just kind of selling them off for, a decent package. I mean, if you get a decent package, then great. But I wouldn't I wouldn't be selling them low. Like I'd be selling them at a tad under what healthy Jefferson is going to be. Unless you're just in that camp that thinks, again, they're going to just shut him down and trade Kirk Cousins. And, if that starts to grow legs and get some life, then maybe you do try to
Kirk Cousins
get ahead
trade
of that.
happens, man. That'll make.
Well, then, his window's gone. Like you should have sold him beforehand if you think that's going to happen. So
yeah,
that's a risk you have to be willing to take. So just make sure it's someone good you get. Like you want a top receiver. Like maybe you're not going to get Hill or Chase, but Cooper Kupp at least. Like even with his baggage, someone.
someone with the
very
upside.
few.
Adams.
Yeah, someone with that upside. Yeah, Adams, someone like that. So, obviously, Jamar Chase, that window's closed after this week's performance. He's a no. He's gone back to the no touch section. What about T Higgins? Are you still moving him?
I think people could still buy him, and I think I would move on him.
Okay.
Just to be
I'd be a buyer. I'd be looking to acquire him. I'd take that chance, with Burrow looking a lot better this week.
Yeah.
Just think, he's going to come back to that offense. It's just ribs. Like he'll eventually get healthy
Get
again.
straightened
So
out.
while that window's open, we lost the window when we were telling you guys to go buy Chase. The same thing. Go buy Higgins while the window's still there. If you can get a good deal on him.
Well, you can get them while they're hot.
Get it while it's hot, or while he's hurt.
In this case, right?
Jalen Waddle, most traded guy right now. Jalen Waddle, buy, sell, or hold.
I'd hold him. He's on a good offense.
Yeah, I'm holding by him.
Yeah, exactly. Because I think he has an oblique injury or something. What was it? It
He's
wasn't a
fine now.
hammy.
He played now.
He's fine now. So I mean, I would.
Oh, he was
definitely-
dealing. Wasn't it a concussion? I think he was dealing with a concussion.
Okay, and that's
Not even a hammy.
Yeah, that's even better. That's what I'm saying. As long as something you could recover from and not have an issue with, why would you? I mean, there's high-powered offense over there. He's going to get his dues for sure. Okay, buy him now.
Yep. And so there we go. 10 targets last game. That's what we like to see. Only 5 catches, but 10 targets and a touchdown. We'll take it. Let's see. Who else we got here? Calvin Ridley. Buy, sell, or hold.
I'd say hold.
Okay.
I
CeeDee Lamb.
think he was involved in a lot of trades, like you were mentioning. He's another guy that I think that a lot of people mentioned Ridley in there because
Yeah.
he has value and he's been doing some things, but I would just hold on to him.
There we go. All right. Well, that kind of wraps that up. I mean, we could go more here, but should give you a good idea of who those guys are. I mean, it's almost midnight for us over here. We got work tomorrow, so we got to get out of here for you guys. But
For sure.
it was fun. As far as the tight end position goes, just again, you're always trying to go get Kelsey as long as it doesn't gut your team. And maybe I'll throw Laporta on there. Maybe you can go buy Laporta if you can, if someone's trying to sell. Don't overpay. But, he might be a guy worth it. So go check it out. Let's see. Lastly, before we get out of here, of course, I have to thank our Underdog sponsor, let you guys know about them, UnderdogFantasy.com. It's a best ball platform for those of you guys who don't know. Their best ball resurrection closes tomorrow. So make sure you guys get in there, get your drafts in. It's only a $10 buy-in. They're giving out $30,000 to first place, $15K to second place, and so on and so forth. Tournament runs week 6 through 14. And again, it's the resurrection. So with what we know now, maybe some of your other best ball teams got, destroyed by injuries and whatnot. You want to come out, draft a new one, and still have a chance to take home that $30,000 first place prize. In addition to their best ball contest, they have a bunch of their pick'em contests and specials. One of those things is the 100K Sunday giveaway, where they select 10 random people that included the feature pick in their entry, and those 10 people will receive $10,000 each. This week's featured pick'em is Cooper Kupp, higher or lower than 91.5 total yards. So again, it's a chance for you to get $10,000. They're giving away a total of $100,000 just for including this guy in one of your entries. You don't even have to win the higher or lower. You just need to include it on your entry. So make sure you guys go check out UnderdogFantasy.com. When you do, use that promo code GetRight to receive that 100% deposit match. They're still doing the $500 match. So if you deposit up to $500, they will match it up to $500. By the time you're reading this or watching this, it may not be there, but as of now, when I checked it today, it was still there. So make sure you guys go check it out, go sign up, use that promo code GetRight. In addition to the deposit match for new customers, they'll also receive our new customer special pick. So if you sign up before the Thursday night game, it's going to be Patrick Mahomes, higher or lower than a half a total yard. So make sure you guys go check that out. And do we still have that on there? New customer special?
There you go.
Yeah. Higher or lower half a total yard. Use that promo code GetRight when you do. All right. So that takes care of that. Last but not least, man, make sure you guys go check out our affiliate channels. You have Tim and AJ over at the Fantasy Frontline. We have the Checkdown podcast here with Cody McGoat, Shirtless Pat, Greg, and the fellas over there. You have our newest addition to the network, the Dead Zone Fantasy Show with Adam. As you guys know, I'm Dim Boys DC4L. or Dim Boys in the chat when he's here. So again, make sure you guys go in the description, follow the links, subscribe to the channels, because you will have to be subscribed to these 4 channels in order to have a chance to win that 1,000 subscriber ring. So last but not least, make sure you guys go check us out. Hit that subscribe button if you're not already subscribed. Help us get to 1,000. Hopefully we're a little bit closer after tonight. So other than that, man, appreciate you staying on this late with me, man. One of our later shows. I am too, man. I don't think there's been a time where I've just been like, hey, we're out of here. But we appreciate everybody, man, coming out. That was an awesome stream. Had a ton of people in here, there in the beginning. It was great. Hour and a half of Q&A. So we may have to figure out how to just cut this down, or maybe just do a Q&A session here. Buy, sell, trade Q&A instead of, all the other stuff. So maybe we'll just rip through all the news and notes real quick, and then just do Q&A until it stops. So
and be like, we're done.
all right. So maybe we'll new format coming next week. And less prep on my side. I don't have to come up with all these buy, sell, hold, things as well too. So we'll just do that. Plus I like the real life scenarios anyway. It makes more sense. So
when people are actually having something that's happening in their league.
Exactly.
Come up with stuff. Just tell us what's going on in your stuff, right?
And we'll help you out. So again, we appreciate it, man. For all of us here at Get Right, for Classic Mike, for Dustin, for my boy Frank here, and for myself. Again, I'm Rasta. You're watching Get Right Fantasy Network. We'll be back here on Friday with our Start Sit show, going game by game. So we'll let you know who we're starting, who we're sitting, and we'll see you guys on Friday.
Peace out.
Peace out.
Wanted to write fantasy is the play. Marking nothing, but I tune in every Friday. Strategies provided.